We are live! Woo!
Hi, hello,
Oh my
good
god,
evening.
Hey everyone. So, once again, we have gathered. It's been, gosh, forever. It's been forever. We've been doing this shit for forever, I feel. Anyway, as always, I am Francisca, the Dungeon Master. My pronouns are she, her. And today, I'm looking forward to making you very dungeon-appropriate snacks while you do your algebra homework. Or don't. I'm not your boss, just your mom. Now, today, with a special question from my side, Ante, why don't you tell us your name, your character's name, each of your pronouns, and what your favorite movie trope is?
But first, before I do that, I want to quickly thank Golsty for the subscription. And Tyndall, also welcome back. Love both of you. Okay, now for the questions. So I am Antir, playing Seti, both he, him. And my favorite movie trope. Oof. I don't really watch movies.
Make something up. Shame on you.
The things where I don't know what it's called, but like it's end game style where all the different people come together for one last fight, like that kind of thing. That trope,
Oh.
like.
That's nice. What are your plans for Seti and yourself today, Ante?
Survive, eat crayons, be happy.
Survive, eat crayons, be happy. I will try to accommodate you. Danny, please, you work so hard, and I want to get some extra, give you a little spotlight for a moment. Why don't you talk about yourself and your character and your favorite movie trope to us?
Okay, I'm Danny, pronoun she, they. I play Flora, pronoun she, her. Can I do my favorite book trope instead? Because I don't really watch a lot of movies.
How dare you? How very dare you? Of course you can.
Favorite book trope? Probably Found Family.
Found family. Very perfect. Now, what are your plans for Flora today? Besides the obvious.
Probably try to talk to Stacy and, I forget their name, the curator of the Hags, what's their name? Yovu. Did I mispronounce it?
You chronically mispronounce every single name I've given you, so at this point I've just given up. But don't worry about it, this is a fantasy game and we can just say you have an accent. Yeah, Yavu, why not? Thank you so much, Danny. You're laughing, Loki, but I'm actually coming for your ass right now, please. Talk about yourself and Azizi and your favorite movie trope.
Called out. Jesus Christ. Yes, hi, it's me, it's Loki. Any and all pronouns work for me, thank you. Azizi is he, him. and vibing currently. My favorite movie trope, it's not really a trope, it's just a thing that happens sometimes, is when the ending is really like heart-shattering and everybody dies and everything's horrible. I love that, personally.
So you like tragedies?
That's a genre, yeah, that's not a trope at all.
Yeah. Outstanding. Thank you so much. What are your plans for Zizi today, Loki?
My plans are to be very funny today. Thank you.
You'd be a funny silly little guy.
Yes.
Very good. Algernon/Calix, why don't you talk about yourself and Xiomara/Sandy? We got 4 names here, guys. We got 4 names.
I have so many like aliases. Yes, I'm Calix. They, them. I play Xiomara or Sandy, also they, them. My favorite movie trope isn't a trope, but a rule. It's the rule of 3, so that everything has to come back 3 times. I fucking love that, especially with jokes. And my goal for today is to try to not talk about Five Nights at Freddy's as much as I want to do. Because my brain is just full of that at the moment.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Thank you so much. Kosti, please. Enlighten us.
Okay, I try. But you know, Stacy's not always the brightest candle on the cake. Yeah, I'm Coolsty, she, her pronouns. I'm playing as Stacy, also she, her pronouns. And my favorite movie trope probably is finding something on the attic from your grandparents and then jumping right into some adventures.
That is amazing. Now, did I forget anyone? I don't think so.
I have not talked about what Stacy's or my plans are for today.
Completely irrelevant. Stacy is dead.
Oh.
No.
Again?
I apologize, of course. Please, what are your plans for Stacy?
Well, I have so many paths to follow. First of all, Stacy wants to talk with the Winter Circle Dragon about her scales, but I think this is not as pressing. And then she got to know that her family is kinda in shambles, and she wants to sneakily try to investigate this without telling too much of her family itself. So I have like 3 or 4 options. I could go like maybe ask Matea, because wait, Matea's pronouns are she, her, right?
Yes.
She's a bard and she knows stuff, so maybe this is a good investigation route. Maybe Javier knows, because he already knows that Stacy has tidings to the Northern Duchies. I could also go and ask Prince Filomeno, but this is not very likely. It's possible I will not do it. And then, of course, I have an elvish-looking friend in my group, which I definitely know is nothing else besides. So maybe Sandy knows something.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Who may or may not be dead.
Who knows? What I know. And my favorite movie trope is the 11th hour villain, when the true villain is revealed at the very last minute.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Very same.
speaking of which, last session you, as Loki so aptly put it, you unleashed our noble eldritch evils onto the world, and then promptly left, leaving an entire layer below the city to crumble to dust. The consequences of that are soon to be revealed, I'm sure, but for now, you, the 5 of you, find yourselves beset upon by a dog. No,
Yes.
find yourselves inside of the sewers. 4 of you are asleep. 1 of you cannot physically sleep, and so Flora, you're the first to awaken and see yourself in a sewer. In front of you is a deep pit, a hole, and there's a bunch of water flowing into it. You can smell the faint scent of lavender. What do you want to do?
Freya
I'll
also
try to
wants to
wake
play
up
Iron Man.
Stacy.
Stacy, you do. Stacy, you're awake now. How exactly do you wake her up, Flora?
Just gently, kind of nudge her awake.
You can see Stacy is very fast asleep. She's actually kind of turning away from you, like, Mom, not now. But she quickly realizes where she is, and she looks at you big-eyed. As per usual. Costa, how do you respond to this?
I was just dreaming about Flan, but my mother took it away. What do you want, Flora?
Well, we got out, and I have some stuff I want to talk to you about alone, and it seems like the others might be asleep. I don't know if you want to investigate, or maybe we can talk alone since the others are asleep.
The others, by the way, no sign of waking up anytime soon. They seem to be very fast asleep. Whatever happened to you ever since you left the Undying City? It seems to have left your party kind of knocked out, like without energy. Kusta, Stacy, you feel a little bit lethargic, and so do you, Flora, which you're noticing now after you got up so quickly. There's kind of a weight to your knees that wasn't there before. So, Stacy.
With a really sleepy voice, and she tries to really mumble because she doesn't want to wake up the others. Okay, Flora. Right now I'm not really good at thinking, but you can talk with me, but maybe we should go a little bit further away from the group.
Okay. Do you need any help getting up? Because I know that Prof's breath still took a lot out of you.
I don't know, just let me crawl like a baby. It's fine.
By the way, Stacy, I know last session I gave you a point of exhaustion.
Yes.
It's gone. You're better now, but you're still really tired. So, you crawl a bit off to the side. You notice, it's almost deathly silent. The only thing you hear every now and then is, the occasional splish splash from the creek you can see beside of you, running into the hole. From down in the hole, you can hear some warped, echoey sounds. Maybe what might be the screech of a bat or a cracking piece of rock. Very faintly, and you don't need to give me perception for this, you hear the very slight slithering of a snake.
Stacy immediately freezes and she's like, oh my god, this place is not good. But she's also whispering it, of course, because she doesn't want to alert the others.
Flora, you see her whispering that, and you see there's actually once again cold air coming out of her mouth.
Do you want me to go check out what it is to comfort, to, put you at ease?
As long as it doesn't come closer to us, we should be fine. But she's still in a very terrified state because she's really exhausted and she knows the snake is coming. And yeah.
Both of you can either give me a nature or insight check.
Then I would go for insight because I have a +5 on that.
Yes, I have
please.
a +6 on nature.
Oh.
Yeah, so, always showing off, aren't they?
I think so. I think nature would be better for me.
Yep, go ahead. Just waiting for that roll. You see, I'm actually doing the other 3 players a favor because now you can really think about what you want to do. Yeah.
I need to get a calculator again.
Good. In the meantime, I can just tell the other players what they're dreaming about. It's easy because you go first in the alphabet. I'm just going to tell you, you're dreaming about chasing a red dragon.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think you've ever actually seen a real red dragon before, only like an illustration and stuff. But the world around you seems kind of blurred and weird. It reminds you a bit of the night sky when you look at it, and just see the red dragon in front of you, almost taunting you with its redness.
Okay.
Xiomara,
Hmm.
you dream that you wake up in a desert completely made out of grey ash. The sky is completely grey. No matter where you look, everything is grey. The ash is getting into every single one of your crevices. It's in between your fingers, it's in between your toes, it's in your hair. And in your heart, there's nothing.
Wow.
Seti,
Okay.
what do you think Seti's mother looks like?
I honestly.
Rather, what does Seti think Seti's mother looks like?
Probably. I'm wondering, like, probably like a full snake.
Abomination.
Yes.
Yeah. You dream you're at home and you're a child and mother's making you a nice hearty stew. And it is everything you ever wanted. Suspicious. With your insight of 7, Stacy, you realize the snake isn't coming your way, but you have no idea what it is, what it's doing. Danny, Flora, with a 23, not bad. You actually notice it's not really a snake at all. It might be related to a snake, but it's much closer to a worm, a wyvern maybe. And there seems to be some kind of purpose to it, some kind of movement. You realize it is moving far away from where you are currently. And it is not making any moves to come closer.
Okay, I'll tell this in Elvish to Stacy.
So you do. I'm just assuming the conversation from now on is just in Elvish.
Okay.
Okay, okay, how do you continue, guys?
I think I have some information on Sandy that I think you might need to hear.
You see Stacy sitting like a small child with big eyes and ready to get all the information, and having her hands like under her chin and like going with her gaze from downwards to upwards to Flora and says, "Okay, go on."
Flora, you see Stacy's eyes are getting bigger and bigger. You're not sure how this is possible, but she looks really curious about what you're about to say. Also, Stacy, I'm assuming you're just doing the anime girl sits, where you're just kind of sitting on your feet.
Yes.
Cute, amazing. So,
Okay. So, I don't think Sandy is what they appear to be. And I tell Stacy about like what happened at like the statue, how their appearance changed and like how they had black eyes and like described their appearance like when like it was flickering.
once again to reiterate, Stacy, what Flora saw back then was that Sandy put their hands into the fire, and it messed with something about them. If you knew what a glitch was, you would describe it as glitching. And Flora could see that their skin was actually turning a dark grey, and their teeth were turning very sharp, and their eyes were turning pitch black, just as she just described.
And I have also noticed that they fall asleep, which is not something those of elven nature or my kind do. So I suspect there's something else entirely. And I suspect they have a connection to Finger Eater. I'm not sure whether that connection is agonistic or something out of necessity, or they are rebelling like I thought Fiery might have been. I'm not sure if Fiery is actually rebelling or still is. It's something I was hoping I can look into eventually. But
Go on, please.
But you think it? Well, I don't think we can't work with them. I think it's wise we don't lay all our cards on the table with them. Not until know what we're working with, at very least.
Okay, please. Roll me a good deception check, please, Flora.
A deception check.
Yep, please roll me a deception check. And Stacy, you can also immediately roll me an insight check, please.
Okay. Meanwhile, during this whole conversation, you could see that Stacy's head is tilting a little bit, and she's getting the thinking look on her face. And yeah, then we go further on after the rolls.
You got the 10.
A 24.
Right, there's nothing suspicious about this. You can trust Danny, Flora. This is just about you kind of leaving out the part where you did in fact also make a pact with the same archfey that you accuse Xiomara basically of being associated with. Stacy doesn't check any of that. Stacy, however, you do notice that you look like an elf. You can sleep. It's not that hard. It just means you have a human dad.
Yeah.
At
so
the same time, there's kind of truth, kind of essential truth to the things that Flora's saying. And Flora, you know her to be very wise. She would never, try to she would never just make any assumptions out of nowhere.
So Stacy goes on with her woe, which is relatively loud, but then she caught herself midway through and remembers, oh yeah, she has to be silent. So it's like a whoa, oh. Then she goes further with, oh no, so my plans. And then she realizes that this is a conversation she should have inside her head, not outside. And so she turns numb and silent, and looks then with a questioning look towards Flora, waits like half a minute and goes on, okay, so, oh man, I can't trust her, you mean?
Them. It's them.
I'm getting like 4 psychic damage with that, okay?
No, you're not. I'm just taking your word out of your mouth and I'm putting another one in.
Okay.
I don't think we can fully trust them. I think we can work with them though.
What Flora's saying basically, Stacey, is that it's not the best. It's probably like this plank that we're standing on. It's probably moldy, but we can stand on it for the time being until we find a better plank. Speaking of which, Plank, you can wake up first. Xiomara, what do you do?
I just stretch myself like a cat because I love cats. And I look around. Obviously, I don't think that I know where we are. Besides the sewers, obviously.
Actually, you can roll me an insight check.
Oh, of course. Give me a second. Where are you? There you are.
While you do that, I'm gonna explain to you what you see. You see, you're in a sewer. 17. This is the fucking hole you fell down.
No,
This is the same fucking hole.
Is this where I got robbed?
No, this would be a bit further away.
Okay.
This is where you got chased by something you couldn't quite see and then fell into a hole, and then you fell into the same central pool chamber that you found Azizi, where Cleanif then found you both.
Okay, good. So I gather I would somewhat know the way out.
Yep. Besides that, You also see nearby that Flora and Stacy are already up and they're already like convening with one another. You can give me an inside check on that if you want, otherwise it just looks like they were talking about something private.
You know, I'm not gonna make an inside check. This is their conversation. I don't want
Yes,
to
it's girl
intrude
time. It's
that
girl
much.
time.
They're having girl breakfast. Or
They're having girl breakfast. Yes, they're eating petrified croissants.
I would just wave at them and see if they notice me being awake.
Yeah. Also, you hear Stacy going, "Whoa!"
Whoa!
And I'm assuming they both turn their heads to you. With that, Azizi, you wake up.
Good. I like that. I would also like to roll like insight. I would like to look around. Maybe I don't know if that needs insight. Just tell me, do I notice anything?
Well, I think for you it'd be fair to just say you roll me investigation.
Hell yeah, I'll roll you investigation. I will do that once I find it in the little list of things that I have.
And when you said you liked that, you were referring to the dream, right? Or...
I like waking up. I like being in action.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, right.
But
yeah,
the dream
yeah.
was good. Sounds like a pretty good dream, actually, all things considered.
Good dream. Good, pretty 7 out of 10, all things considered.
Yeah. Oh, look at that investigation roll.
Investigation.
23, baby. Let's go.
You, Desert, took this path one time to get to a very out-of-the-way client who needed a pipe fixed. So you kind of remember where you are in relation to the rest of the Undercity. Curiously enough, you also feel really tired. And you don't remember walking here from Mikur. Obviously, you went through a portal last time, so you're gathering this is how you got here. You're wondering whether the hole in front of you has always looked this suspicious and whether it has always smelled this strongly of lavender. Very well. That's the information you get with looking around and taking a good sniff.
Okay. Sandy is right next to me, right?
They are.
Yes. I'll point out that I know where we are. It's like I've been here before. So if we're looking for the exit, I think I can find it.
Very good. Very good. You heard the word you hear the words we can find at Sissetti and you wake up to finally. You still have the taste of stew in your mouth as you wake up, and it's not altogether unpleasant, but it's a bit of a letdown.
I was having the last good dream I've had in ages. What?
That is true. If you want to roll me an insight check to remember what happened, or you just gotta remember on your own.
Nope.
Okay, insight.
Ooh, crit.
Oh,
With a crit.
nice.
No need to contest anything. You immediately remember how you got here. You remember that you made a deal with a seemingly powerful fae thing that is now controlling some kind of bone robot. You can remember that the city around you was falling to pieces while it teleported you out of there. And you remember that you now you remember the spot in the sewers that you're in right now because you fought a bunch of goblin bandits who were ambushing another goblin, and you managed to save him from getting robbed. Kind of memorable. One of them almost fell down the hole in front of you, which you notice now, same as Izzy did, that it smells a lot more like lavender than it did before. Yeah, you remember everything basically, everything that happened last session and everything. Like you even remember how you would get out of here, say to the Scaly Sanctum's main citadel, which is probably where you should report back to right now.
I'm just waking up still, wondering how I went to sleep actually.
You see Sissetti completely lying on his back, kind of like a starfish. You can see his eyes slowly flapping open and then flapping shut again, and he gives a deep sigh from himself.
Time to get back to the sanctum, I say.
You hear that? I don't think you're saying it in a particularly quietly manner. You're just kind of saying it. Flora and Stacy, you hear that? You can see your friends are already getting up. Are you making any moves to get back, or are you still like convening on something?
I have like one final thing that I'd like to convene with Stacy. If that's okay with Stacy.
We can see because Stacy would make the movements to get up. So it's up to you if you want to stop her or not.
Perfect. Stacy gets up. Flora, I'm assuming you just kind of grab her by the shoulder, and you whisper one last thing into her ear.
One more thing. I know you had more questions for Javier, especially with your new armor and the name that was written in it. But Javier's pronouns are he, him, right?
Yes.
Okay. He might not be. I'm not sure if he'll be there, and if he is there, I'm not sure if he will be entirely himself, so take this. So I'm going to give her my Obsidian Hunter's Dagger and say, if he's not himself or you run into certain unsavory figures, this should show that you're under my protection, and I will also give her a point of inspiration.
Really?
Yeah.
How does that work? How does that work? You just give her one of yours, do you?
Yeah.
Okay. One thing I forgot to include in the inspiration rule, I think. You can, at any given time, decide to give someone else inspiration. So in case that isn't clear, usually I imagine that you would do it while you do a check.
Okay.
But this works fine too if you want. Like, if you just want to say,
I'm just
hey, this is...
kind of tying it with the knife. Like,
You give Stacey the knife.
Thing.
Stacey, I imagine, looks at you kind of befuddled, takes the knife.
No, Stacey's
Yeah.
really sad about those news because she kinda liked Javier.
You did.
And yes.
You did.
Even-
Yeah,
Yes,
of course
yes.
he did. Of course, he was nice to you. He was a nice fellow.
Yes,
From all
and
appearances.
I'm a naive little girl, so I'm like, oh no, he might not be well, but and she's
Actually, I
like,
want to see
really,
how naive you are. Please give me an insight check. That's going to be
Insight
the check
check
of the session. Let me tell you. I'm gonna ask for insight checks left and right.
oh nice, that's a good one.
Oh yeah.
That's very funny.
Slay.
That's also a very good check. You're kind of wondering whether Flora might have killed Javier.
Okay,
Wait, what?
while taking the dagger, she looks to Flora and Stacy goes like, but it was not your doing, right? And she gives Flora the look.
You look at Flora with your big puppy eyes. And Flora, I imagine, just shrugs.
No, it wasn't exactly me. He got injured badly while I was there visiting him, but it wasn't me who injured him.
You can see that Stacy puts a little bit too much thought into the words she just heard, and she overthinks like mad, and is like, okay, it was not your exactly doing. I see.
I can't lie.
You can say that there was someone else and you didn't feel like
There was
reporting. But either
someone
way,
else there.
this situation is over. You are reconvening with the rest of the party.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Please, Stacy, add to your inventory one obsidian dagger. And
Yes,
you,
I will.
Flora, well, take it out of yours.
Yeah.
No duplication glitch.
Oh no! No! You gave 1 knife, you have 1 knife left. You give 1 knife, you have 1 knife left. You give 1 knife, you have 1 knife left. Etc. etc. Perfect. Now, party. You reconvened. I'm assuming Azizi and Cecity. You just tell the party what you know. Think that you probably should return to the Skelly Citadel, and that you have an exact path on how to go there right now. Do you want to do that, or is there anything else you as the party would like to talk about? I'm taking that as a no! Carrying on! We're on a schedule, people.
I have nothing to say to these people.
You have nothing to say to these people. And so you arrive.
I'm just
at the
wondering what's for
Citadel.
dinner.
They speculated about my heritage. Now it's over between us.
Great,
Aw.
now let's hope,
Yeah.
let's hope I can pull all of this out. We have several different character voices coming up. You make yourself into the Skelly Sanctum Citadel. Try saying that 7 times fast. Ceti, I'm assuming you go first, that's why I put you here first. And you can see there's still some tents, some carpets. There's many UNT working busy. And in the center of it all, the tallest, most beautiful UNT any of you have ever seen. Not hindered by the fact that she has 3 eyes and 3 arms. She looks at you while taking note. She was just been conversing with 3 other individuals. Like, you can go here, you can go here, you can stand here. Some of which you recognize. Azizi, you immediately see your little friend. It's him. It's Desik. Let me just post the picture for the rest of the group so you can see it. And you can see the matriarch talking to these 3 people. She looks kind of irate at one of them who appears to be like middle-aged high elf in very dirty clothing. A very dapper-looking drow rogue, and once again a small chubby kobold artificer who you know to be Azizi's companion, Desik. And Flora, you actually realize that the schmuck she's talking to is the same schmuck you made a deal with 2 days ago, I think.
Yeah.
Where you shot an arrow through his knee.
Yep.
And City, you approach the matriarch and you see something strange. You see her smiling at you.
Wait, okay. I'm afraid now. Very afraid. I immediately try to compose myself and take a bow.
You take a bow and she gestures for you to get up again, and she says, "My son. Oh, what a nice day to see you back again. Now, I've been told that you took some matters into your own hands, and while I commend your initiative, I don't quite know what to make of you taking this adventuring party with you and making decisions on my behalf. Very well, you got the job done well enough, and I think I have to change my mind on a couple of things, don't I? Welcome back. Welcome back, the rest of you too." And she waves the rest of you closer, and I assume you just start standing around her. Stacy, as always, you feel the shivers when you get surrounded by so many snakes. But you can see, in this here corner, you can see a familiar snake, Cleone, standing guard, or just kind of idling their time away. And at the other end, you can see Goran sharpening their big war pick. Siamara, you see the drow rogue that the matriarch is talking to. He seems familiar. Almost like somebody who held a knife to your heart and demanded all of your money.
That bitch.
Was the drow rogue the one I made the deal with, or is that the other person?
The other person, that would be that person here. It's a like a brown-skinned high elf with black hair, looking very shabby but very determined. You can tell he changed his pants ever since he pissed them when you threatened him with a sword.
Yeah.
He looks different. He looks different than how we left him.
And it all turns to you all and says, "Oh, thank you. Thank all of you. Even you newcomers, and she regards both you, Xiomara, and you, Azizi." And she says, "I was just cleaning up after some affairs you've left on my head. Guillaume, I think you owe this fine gentle person something." And she gestures for you to come closer, Xiomara.
I do come closer and I look at the drow, and it's like just my eyes are like, "Fuck you."
Guillaume, what do we say? Says the drow. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I didn't know you were important. I'm very sorry. And what do we do when we really mean it, Guillaume? Of course, here. And he hands you back all of your money. Let me just see how much that is.
1 million gold.
1 million gold.
I'm rich.
1 billion gold.
You get
Dang.
300 gold pieces.
You are
damn.
rich. You are rich.
Katie is still richer.
Damn. Fucking bourgeois party.
Yeah, sorry.
It all turns to you as you receive your money. I assume you have the biggest shit-eating grin on your face.
Yes.
She says, "Now, after I heard that our party had been joined by a scholar of the uni, I figured that maybe Guillaume, who recently bragged about robbing someone from the uni, might have something to do with that. And since I want to build future relations between the two of us, that is, you and I, as well as the university and my people, I would like to pay it forward, so to speak. Please. I'm very sorry for his behavior. I'm sure so is he. And you can go." You can hear her tone gets a lot colder, and Guillaume sprints away.
As he should. But thank you.
She nods and smiles. Unnatural lizard smile. "Now as for you," and she turns to you, Flora, "I must really commend your resourcefulness. Not only have you proven that you can stay your hand when you do not need to commit violence, you can also use your other faculties and serve you one as a powerful ally. This is... hang on. Pavlo. Pavlo, why don't you introduce yourself?" And she turns to the schmuck, who looks at you, Flora, and says, "Thank you for giving me new life, madam. I will use my limited time on this earth in a more fruitful manner now." And then the matriarch cuts in and she says, "He has vowed to work in one of our orphanages from now on as a teacher. That is all he ever wanted to do, right?" And he curtly nods. And she says, "Right. Now, how can I ever thank you, of course? I guess I will just have to think of something." And she nods to Pavlo, who also goes away. Not in as much urgency as Guillaume was. And with that, she turns to the rest of the party and says, "Very well then. I heard you... you went a bit beyond your original mission, which was just to kill a creature. And from what I've been told," and she snaps her fingers and Cleone immediately appeared at her side, "you've done so quite proficiently. Thank you. Unfortunately, in your eagerness to complete more quests, you missed your prince's seminal speech. That was quite a success. Even I attended. And I'll have you know, I don't often attend up-city occasions. So thank you. He awaits all of you very urgently. Of course, there are some caveats to all this." And she looks at you, Flora. "We need to talk very urgently." "Well, I can say that to a lot of you." And she looks once over to
Nice.
Desert, who nods. She looks over to Stacy, who I'm assuming is scared shitless.
Yes, she's like a plank and is like slowly nodding.
And can I have Flora try to like comfort her by like holding her hand?
Sure. That's up to Flora. That's up to Stacy, I think.
Well, she just stands there like a plank, and if someone would take her hand, it would look really awkward because she would not really bend her arm. It would be just like the straight arm, which goes then forward or so.
Maybe just
Flora.
put like a arm around her and like kind of pat her.
Yeah, if you didn't know any better, Flora, you'd think that she has entered rigor mortis.
Oh.
Anyway, so you stand there, and whoever wants to go first and have a talk with Itul, that includes Flora, Stacy, and Azizi. I think for the three of you, she has something urgent to say. The rest of you could just listen, I guess, or if you have something else you want to talk to her about. For the new players, Azizi and Siamara, this is the matriarch of the Scaly Sanctum. She's like the leader of the 1T. She's the leader of the Undercity. Whatever happens down here, she's probably aware of it. Another detail, Azizi, you remember, is that she doesn't tolerate any other gangs besides the Scaly Sanctum in the Undercity. And Desert used to be part of a gang of kobolds, all of whom got completely annihilated, except for him. And she was directly responsible for that. So I can imagine you don't have the most sympathetic feelings about her. Besides that, that's basically it. So, who wants to say something?
I think we first want to answer Ice's question if the snake woman has boobas.
No.
Aww. It's not a snake human hybrid throw magic, or I think it's more indeed like a snake involving big arms and not even legs, like big arms and a tail.
Well, this particular snake person, she has a regular tail. She has 3 humanoid arms and 3 eyes, and which are front facing. So she's kind of good at human interfacing, but she's not attractive. She's not. Why am I talking about this? This is not what this session is about anyway. She's not conventionally attractive as a human, but she is a snake. Great. So, did you have anything you wanted to ask the Matrix City? Stacy, yes, please.
Okay. So you see Stacy taking her hand towards her heart, and she's casting like guidance on herself, and she's mumbling, "Okay, nature needs to give me some power here because otherwise I will not be able to speak." And she's turning to Itul and she's asking, "Can we have this conversation like in mind and not verbally for everyone to hear?"
What? Do you think I possess the power of telepathy?
Yes.
Well, you're in luck, I do.
Okay, so then
Fine.
we are changing to mind talking, and she's asking Itul, "Do you know anything about an elvish woman who might come here around a few weeks maybe ago or so?" So just
Very funny.
this is out of character. It's asking for her mother.
Funny thing you should say that. A very strange woman appeared here in the Undercity yesterday. She looks somewhat like the woman you are thinking of, but her hair is long and silver. And she's been asking for you specifically. That's one of the things I want to talk to you about, as well as, of course, the matter regarding the Druid Circle. Funnily enough, you thought to make me into a nurse for a toad? And if it wasn't for the tremendous assistance the Circle has granted me over the years, I think I would have probably just said no. But when Cleone reported your success down in the Citadel to me, I felt compelled to agree, and I was hoping I might ask you for a favor in turn. And she reaches into her cowl and takes out something very small, and she holds it out to you, waiting for you to open up your hand.
Since the guidance is still active, Stacy has enough courage to do it. So she pulls out her hand and opens the hand, and also looks like she's a little bit bowing in how is the word? I don't know. I can't describe
Reverence?
it right now. Yes, because she made Itul to do nursing things. So she's a little bit shameful about that.
Oh, you're gonna be really shameful in a second, Stacy. You open your
no.
hand and you feel something crawling in it. Something small and fluffy. When you
Fluffy.
open your
okay.
hand, you see a small grey hamster who looks at you with big button eyes.
Oh no! Stacy gets teary eyes.
You hear her chuckling out of thought, and she says, "His name is Peligro.
It's not Boo.
Would you mind looking after him?" She's smirking at you.
Stacy puts like her second hand underneath the hamster, and she goes with her puppy eyes again to Itul and says, "Yes, I will."
Very good. I suggest you go talk to that strange woman. I think she might have some information for you.
As it will give me directions towards the strange woman.
Yeah, she has shown you in your thoughts the
okay.
place where she's staying at, which just so happens to be the taverna that Matea is working at, as well as Cisetti's sister.
Okay.
Isn't that convenient?
Yeah, it is.
Funny how
Right.
that works.
It's easy.
Yes.
The matriarch turns to you and Desert, and she says, "Oh, this is awkward. I'm pretty sure I killed you." And she says this to Zezek, and he says, of course, cocksure as always, "Well, you did a pretty shitty job of that. Anyway, tell him about the deal." "Oh, fine, I guess I'm your servant now." And she kind of sass him. And she turns to you and says, "Nezek has told me that he and you are looking for a way out of the city. Just as it so happens, I'm looking for connections outside the city, and I have an offer for you I think you might be unable to refuse."
Zizi's listening, nods slowly to confirm what she's just said, yes.
We're building up another base of operations in Peche. Peche is a city far to the north. You might have heard of it, you might have not, I don't care. Anyway, it is far enough away from here, I think. You will have your own personnel, you will have your own workshop, you will answer to no one except me. And I'm offering this to both of you under one condition.
Fire away. Let's hear it.
She points to Cisetti, who I'm assuming is who's sucking on his thumb.
I actually wanted
Well-
to talk to Goram, but sure.
You went to talk to Goran, and it all points at you. You don't see it, and she says quietly to you, Azizi, "You will keep an eye on him for an amount of time defined by me. Once you've done so, you are free to leave the city and work in Pacha until you die of old age." What do you say?
He, of course, turns to Bezog first in order to see what his partner thinks about the situation. Never a decision made without his input, after all.
And he turns to you and says, "Well, this whole thing was kind of my idea. Seeing as we can't work against her, we might as well work with her. Now, I hate conscribing away your life, but I think this might be the best option we have right now."
I mean, for all her faults, she is working against, those guys pointing upwards,
He nods sagely.
Yeah. So, at least that's a positive. I think I can live with that for a while.
And she hears this and she smiles wildly and she claps you on both of your shoulders. I'm assuming you flinch a little bit like, "You don't touch me."
Yes.
And she says, "Very well, then the deal is struck. I'm just going to need you to sign here." She hands you a notebook and a pen.
Okay, is there like text? Is this like a little contract or is it just a blank page?
And there's a little contract which pretty much just outlines what you've just agreed to.
Okay, he does make a point of reading it again, like at least quickly, you know. Signing if you have attention, my dog wants to say, don't sign contracts that you haven't read.
Exactly, kids. Remember that.
But yes, he signs it.
And so the deal is struck. The ship to Petra leaves next week. I'll be supplying you with travel rations, new tools, whatever you need. And Desert sighs and turns to you with his head low and says, "Well, I suppose this is it, my old friend. We won't be seeing each other for a while."
Make sure to stay in touch if you can.
You know it, and he kind of punches your shoulder.
Nice, nice.
Look after yourself, you little bastard. I'll miss you.
You too. Stay in one piece.
Yeah. I'll try it. he looks, he gives like a, he like mocks concern, and then he, goes about his way. He picks up some tools and makes his way back. One moment, there's a person at my door.
Doorbell rings.
No.
First, the gentry part,
No.
and then the doorbell rings.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Maybe a quick
No,
toilet break
clear.
while we're at it. Because I could go to the toilet at the moment.
Yes, same
Okay,
here
very
for
true.
me.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay,
Quick
I'll
break.
say hi to
Yeah.
my mom. See you in a bit.
Akina, then I will not talk. Maybe I can
Yeah.
write it in Discord, like as a spoiler, so that
German.
the people who want
say it
to
in
know.
German, then
In
he
Ger-
can.
True,
Yeah,
I can say it in
let's
German.
talk. Let's
If you
talk
say
about
it
my
in
magic
English,
friend
I
in German.
understand.
Yeah.
Hi.
I did not understand any of what was just said. It was just like a group of children yelling at me.
Yes, I mean that is what we are, but we are back now. Calix, do you have something to say to us, to the world?
I will not spoil the movie now.
Ah.
Yes,
It's
thank you.
very-
Then let us please carry on.
Power
Okay.
move.
So finally, she returns. The matriarch returns to the rest of the group, and she reiterates what she's already said: that the prince is waiting for you, that you missed his speech, and that the world has changed a little bit. Flora, you're the last person she turns to, and she gets really low as she approaches you, and she whispers to you that she asks you,
Flora, I knew you might be a little bit devious, but you're not a murderer, are you?
Oh,
You can see her squinting at you, and she says, "Good." Because the entirety of the guards in Morocco seem to disagree. You're wanted for the murder of a duke.
was it Javier?
I don't know any concrete details, but I've already agreed with Clearney and the prince for a special extraction of you, let us say. You will take a special route to the palace, and you will stay there until you get further details. The prince has been told to wait for you there. I'm very sorry that it had to come to this, but I cannot, in good conscience, as a friend, let you travel through the city by yourself. Anything you say to that? No?
How did they think that I killed this duke? And since I was gone hunting for that sewer squish, I don't think I would have had the time to kill a duke.
I have no idea, but apparently must have done it the night before you came here. I don't know all the details. The prince will be able to help you better.
Okay.
And with that party, you're free to leave the citadel and just go do your own thing for a while. You kind of had the solved quest of going to the prince at the end of the day. Before you leave, though, Seti, you still have a chance to catch up with your friends or do whatever. So.
Yeah.
Except I can't go anywhere. I have to go to jail.
Yep.
No, you have to go with Clearney.
Straight to Tliani jail.
Yes.
With the crayons.
So yes,
No,
Seti,
Seti-
what is it?
Seti has the crayons.
Seti, you wanted to talk to Gorn, right?
Yep, correctly.
So you approach them, they're just kind of squatting down, sharpening their axe, and they see you and they say, "Ah, you tough bastard, you made it! I never doubted you for even a second. So, what did you find down there?
I honestly have no idea. That's why I wanted to ask you a question.
Sure, whatever wisdom I can provide.
And not really wisdom, but more like a favor. Could you
Yes.
reach out to someone outside of the city for me?
Sure. Who is it?
That is
I
my...
can drag him by the hair. I can drag him here by the hair if you want.
Yeah, I might give you a fight if you if you try that. I would like to speak to my old master about this.
The fat elephant.
Yes, the fat elephant.
Perfect. Yeah, I know ways of finding him.
Alright.
Don't worry about that.
I think, in my opinion, you're welcome to join the conversation. I think he might know more about what was down there.
No, maybe. I'm just glad you're back, honestly. And they go to give you a hug.
I hug them back.
Perfect. Anything else any of the others would like to do before you go?
Nope.
Not for Stacy.
I have one question. Did I hear the conversation between Flora and the matriarch?
Give me a perception check.
Let me find perception. There it is.
I mean, they did kind of whisper to me.
Natural
Yes,
20.
We heard all of it.
But they didn't say your last name or anything, yeah?
How many Javiers do you know in the city, Xiomara? How many Javiers do you know?
I don't know how many there are. It's a large city, there could be
I mean,
more.
You have the Duke, you have the one who works at the docks, you have the 5 who own a bakery. I mean, it could be anyone.
Isn't every second person called that?
There's at least 2 Javiers.
Okay,
that
the
we've
following.
met.
The following. Flower stands accused of murdering a duke. You happen
Yeah.
to know a duke. Flora
Yeah.
offhandedly mentioned somebody called Javier. You do not entirely know whether that is the Javier you're thinking about or not.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, what do you do with this information?
I don't do anything yet. I am not about to slow down in front of the matriarch. This is respectable company, but I've noted it in my brain.
Okay, perfect. With that, I say we carry on here.
Aww, that's nice.
As you can see, there it is. It's the Pearl of the Sea, the shitty little town most of you grew up in.
And we're in the sky. Woo.
And you're in the sky. Now, you have to go here, which is going to take you about half a day, because you're down here. As you can see, I've brought up some little symbols to show you what you can do in these places. You can go to a magic item shop, which is down here in Infernito. You can go to an alchemist shop, which is owned by a familiar lizard here in Snake's Nest. And you can also go to the Hearth, the middle section of Maracas, where you may be able to go to a smithy. Of course, there's also many other locales you're aware of, if you want to go there.
I can't do anything.
Yeah, you're excluded from that. You can fuck off.
No fun allowed.
You go straight to the palace with Gianni.
Look, shouldn't have. If you wanted to go shopping, you shouldn't have killed people.
You shouldn't
I
have killed
didn't
people.
kill anyone.
You don't know that.
I'm pretty sure we killed like a couple of people already.
You definitely killed a couple of schmucks, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that being said,
Well,
guys,
Lauren
so-
killed a couple of smocks. They're not going to jail.
So that being said, by the end of the day, you're going to be expected at the Royal Palace. Flora, you are already there. And I'm just going to go around in random order and say, Stacy, where are you going?
I'm asking Seti if he wants to go with me to La Taverna of his sister.
You go to
Sure.
the Vested Viper, and Seti, you're going with her?
I'm
With her?
going with her, yes.
You're going to see your sister. Izzy, where are you going?
as soon as that they talk, Azizi hears this. Azizi takes his quest very seriously. This deal that he has. He's like, hey, City, you're off. Can I accompany you? I think you're really cool, and I think we should hang out. He's really bad at person-to-person conversations. It comes across exactly like that.
You know, Azizi, why don't you give me a persuasion check at advantage?
Oh, for sure.
I am too dumb to notice anyway.
Wait, no, not persuasion, deception.
Oh, deception. Okay.
And
You
Seti,
mean
you can contest that with insight if you want.
It's a -2, but it's a 15 nonetheless.
Nice. Yeah, you got me.
You got the idea that actually
Perfect.
you are really cool and you should have followers. So Zizi is going with you.
That does make sense. Yeah, makes sense.
Stacy, naive as she is like, oh yeah, Azizi is a cool dude. Do you want food from me? And she's reaching to her backpack and crams out a ration from there.
As you do that, the hamster crawls into your backpack
Oh.
and says, "Squeak!"
Stacy says,
So-
yeah, go in there and eat what you want, little one.
Squeak! Xiomara.
Give me a minute. I know I took notes two sessions ago about what I wanted to do. I just need to find them again. My spelling is not very good. I just noticed in my little notebook. It's okay, yeah. How much time do you think I have before we have to be at the palace?
You have 18 hours.
Okay, so I think that's enough time to go and find my former mentor, the Archmage.
To the university.
Yeah.
Santa
Right,
Miseria. No, la Universidad Real. Okay.
That's true. Hang on, let me just find the right map.
I thought
I had
Santa
it here.
Miseria is an interesting name for a university.
Sure, why not? Dang it. One moment. There it is. Let me just... And we're going to go in alphabetical order and start out here at the tavern. Let me
Yes.
just clean up the icons a little bit.
Hey, he's right there. Xavier is alive.
That was no Javier.
This was Roberto,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Roberto, right.
That was Bobby.
Bobby.
Our number one cheerleader, Dad.
Oh,
So yeah,
Notom
you
is
come into
still
the
here.
tavern. It's a morning. You can see some shift workers are just kind of eating and drinking and talking in a low tone to each other. You can see Inxissa is working the counter while Matei is going around picking up tankards. You can see Notom is sleeping somewhere around here on a table, looking extremely inconspicuous. Let me just find your portraits. Oh man, I have too many assets now. For the first time I had the problem that I have too many assets. Anyway, we've got our little friend, our idiot friend, and our friend who everyone
Actually,
likes.
give Stacy the murder weapon.
Yes. You're off to prison while Stacy's running around free with a murder weapon.
Because I thought Goodman just slew his own knife.
Oh, he did.
Okay.
The thing is, as far as I remember, did you take the knife out?
Nope.
You did not.
I
Yeah.
just, patched it up, him up
Patched him up a little bit.
and
So.
stabilized him, and then
You
ran away.
stabilized him. And then you ran away. So, you can see Inxissa sees you coming in, Ceci, and she waves you over, and as you come over, she gives you a little kiss on the cheek, and she says, "Welcome back." Mateo sees all of you and looks very strained. You notice something strange about it, which is that she's being accompanied by the most beautiful grey poodle you've ever seen. Sorry, black poodle you've ever seen.
Well, it's gone. There it is.
You don't know how a poodle gets here. I don't think. Seti, you've never actually seen a dog. Dogs don't tend to go here.
I've seen
the
cats
dog doesn't-
before, right?
You've seen some street cats. You've never
Okay.
really seen a lot of dogs. People just tend to keep raptors or other kinds of small dinosaurs here. Or hamsters. I can see the dog, who's just very well behaved, kind of following Matea around. Matea does not seem to be pleased, and she says, "Friends, you're back. If it's not too much trouble, could I ask you for some help with something later? After my shift?"
Sure, no problem.
Thank you.
What's the cute little edible thing behind you?
Give me a persuasion check, please.
Need +0. Come on. Yeah, 16. Nice.
She giggles at that like a little schoolgirl. Yeah, funny. That's good question. It's kind of started running after me. Give me insight check, please.
Oof, nope. Yeah, I believe it.
You totally believe that. Stacy, you see your tiefling friend Matea, the bard, now working as a bar girl, being followed by this beautiful poodle. Azizi, you see these two strangers. You've never been inside this bar. You get the idea that the bar owner, the tavern owner, a young blonde or brown-haired one tea lady, and Seti might be on friendly terms, as well as this very out of place looking tiefling woman who's being followed by a poodle.
Can I roll to see if I know what a poodle is?
Yep.
Good. What do I roll for poodle?
Nature.
Roll for poodle.
Nature. I would like to roll for poodle.
Alternatively, you can also give me an Arcana check.
Okay, they're both good. Arcana is better though. I'll roll Arcana. I might know what a poodle is, perhaps, with a 25.
Whatever a poodle is, you know that this is not it. There's something evil about that thing.
Oh my god.
Aren't all poodles kind of evil?
True, but this one in particular. By the way, you would totally know what a poodle is. You've been outside of Maracas, you've been to more northern cities where there's more kind of canine animals. You've been to like a petting zoo that your mom took you to, where you were like still a little grub.
Yeah.
And you tried to pet the dog, and it kind of tried nibbling on your hand. And ever since then, you had a mild distaste for dogs.
Damn, so real.
And Matea asks, "Oh, who's your cute new friend? Hi. Nice to be making your acquaintance."
Nice to meet you. That thing's not a dog.
Okay, well, you should. What? No, what are you talking about? That is definitely a dog, right? She looks at the dog as if for reassurance. The dog kind of sits down and looks at her, looks at you and says, "Oh."
Can I understand? Oh.
You just hear what?
I just hear rough. Okay. I also don't think I have anything that would make me understand that more. Or do I? No.
You could ask your druid friend.
Oh yeah, I'll elbow you. Right.
Don't you want to introduce yourself first?
I mean, I'm very focused on the dog right now, but no.
Okay.
Yes.
Matea is just kind of looking at you confused because you haven't introduced yourself. You just walked up to her with like, "Madam, that is not a dog."
Wait, already, dude.
I mean, you're not wrong, you're just rude.
Otherwise, you can see the woman at the bar kind of giving all of you a stern look, especially Matea, and she says, "Matea, honey, I told you not to bring any animals near. It's already bad enough that we have that cat." And she points over at Notom, who's still very much asleep. Oh, sorry. Can you please just kind of take him somewhere else? And I know you haven't seen our friends for very long, but please just get back to work. I just want to finish this shift, okay? And she says, "Okay, sorry, boss." And she goes back to work. Seti, it's very harrowing for you to hear somebody call your sister boss, but it is fitting now that you think about it. She's kind of bossy.
Nah, really? Oh yeah, actually.
Matea and the poodle make go to leave and pick up more tankards. Stacy, if you want to speak to animals on the poodle, this might be a good time.
Yes, I want to do that and use my speak with animals.
You know what I forgot?
I don't know. What?
The
Don't
poodle.
worry about it.
The
Don't
second
worry about
poodle.
it. The second poodle, yeah. Before you do that, Inxisa turns to you and says, Stacy? Like the woman at the bar, Inxisa, Sadie's sister, she turns to you and says, Stacy, could I have a word?
With a little confused look on her face, she says, yes, of course. Where should I go?
She bends over the bar and she gives you a conspiratory look, and she points across the bar at a strange woman sitting there at a table all by herself. A woman came in. She's asking about you. Do you know her?
Stacy turns around. I guess she probably knows who that is.
No.
She
All
tries
you
to.
see now is just a mop of flowing silver hair.
Yeah, so she kind of has a suspicion. She tries to hide it and says, I don't know. Doesn't seem to ring a bell.
I think you should talk to her. She asked about you specifically. I've never seen her in my life.
I will just do that.
Yeah, good idea. And then you go over to the dock, I assume.
I think no. Stacy would completely forget about the dog and go straight to the table
No,
because
Stacey,
her
no.
that's her attention span.
Fair enough.
Azizi, I'm assuming you're still following Seti. Seti, what are you doing in all
Yes,
this?
of course, yes.
I wanted to ask a question to Inxisa, but I guess she's occupied with Stacy
No,
at the
she's
moment.
just tidying up at the bar.
Okay.
And you see Stacy go and talk to the other woman. And yeah, so you've got it all to yourself.
Hey, sis, did you see anything happening lately around here?
So the question is, what didn't happen? You
No,
know,
no Inquisition, right?
weird. No, not though you mention it. That's ever since you got abducted, but did you not hear, Seti? We have a prince now. The princess turned out to be a prince. Isn't that marvelous? This hasn't happened in centuries.
What a total surprise that I was totally not already in the knowledge about.
Do you want to give me a deception check at a disadvantage?
I'm good at. I forgot I was good at deception. Well, not good enough to
Well-
lie this.
Not as good as Flora is with her +9.
And Excessa just raises an eyebrow at this and says, anyway, no, nothing about the order at all. They're repurposing all the buildings, like the Grand Cathedral. They're dedicating it to a new order.
A new order?
Yeah, what's it called? It's like they're like worshipping a death god or something. I don't know, but they're very laid back about it. I don't know what's it called.
You know.
Something about the Temple of Iergo? Yeah, that's it. Iergo. Yeah. Other than that, no, nothing happened.
Okay, good.
But what have you been up to?
We've been out hunting for the matriarch.
You say matriarch, and she immediately raises both her eyebrows and says, "Oh! Ah, is that how you met your new friend over here?" And she winks at you, Zizi.
Yes, we found Zizi in the sewers, where we also found some people of the old order holding up. So I wanted to just check in and make sure that everything was fine with you.
Yeah, I think you might have found the last of them, though, huh?
I hope
What?
so.
And she turns to you, Zizi. Haven't I seen you around? Aren't you kind of a plumber?
Oh,
Plumbing, I can fix basically anything. Do you need?
Oh, not right now, not right now. No literal plumbing, but I think there's some piping in my life that needs fixing.
I can't do figurative plumbing, I'm very sorry. People keep asking for that, but I can only do literal plumbing.
Oh
It's very good to stay in your lane, I think.
Yes.
And she nods at you. I'm assuming you nod back. None of you know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Just kind of talking past each other. But she gets you completely nonetheless. That being said, you're free to just kind of relax now, Sasete, unless you wanted to ask any more questions of Matea or Incisa.
I'm
Other
just
than that, you're
wondering
free to join.
when Matea's off shift.
Yeah, you can come back to it after you've talked to the prince in the night,
Ah, okay.
because that's when the shift will be over.
Then I'm just gonna have a little drink and food. Wondering if there's any stew on the menu today by any chance.
Yes. And since you just came back from a hunt and you're already well liked by the tavern owner, it's on the house for you as well as Azizi. And while you go order some food for yourself and your new friend, Stacy, you come across a strange woman who's not entirely strange. I'm assuming you sit across from her.
yes.
Please describe to the party what your mother looks like.
Oh, I need to pull that up again. One moment.
I just pulled it up before the session. Basically, you see this tall, not classically beautiful elven woman. She's got a very angular face. She's got big hands. She's very muscular, kind of in a lean way. And though she doesn't have a soft face, she does have a very friendly face. And unlike your mother, who has very dark hair and eyes, her eyes are a deep blue, and her hair is like a luscious silver color. And she says, "Oh, if it isn't my darling daughter, I'd hope to see you again." And she gives you a wink.
Was she talking in Elvish or in Common with me?
Elvish.
Okay, good. There is no one else who could understand Elvish right now, right?
I wouldn't worry about that if I were you.
Stacy would worry.
Okay, if you want to worry, then please give me a perception check.
Nice perception. Okay, good. Let's go.
Let's go.
But the 20, you notice that the tavern has gone weirdly quiet as soon as you sat down in front of this woman. Almost as if you can't hear anything from the tavern, and you assume they can't hear anything coming from you either.
Okay,
You've been
so
completely excluded from the rest of the tavern.
Okay, it's like a magical silence kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So then Daisy kind of eases up, and when she recognizes her mother, I mean, she hasn't seen her in like, let me quickly calculate, 16 years? Yeah, 16 years. She's like, oh my gosh, you haven't changed at all, except for your hair.
She goes to hug you, actually.
Daisy let this happen.
What do you feel?
Like a warm shiver going through her body, and of course the immediate picture of a flan coming up. And yeah, she kind of feels taken care of, which she didn't had the feeling in quite a time. Probably not since she left the Druid Circle.
Indeed.
Yeah, she seems calm and like a little bit in peace with herself now.
Besides that, you also notice that her skin is as cold as ice. Which for some reason doesn't bother you. Yeah. Your mother is cold as ice. Same as her hair and her eyes now. And you hear a voice in your head saying, I think we have a lot to talk about, you and I.
Okay.
Someone's in trouble.
I don't know. Stacy's like,
And she sits back down in front of you again.
okay. Yeah, I think there's quite a bit to talk about. Like, I don't know, you seem to have lost a little bit of your warmth, but I kinda have some new features as well.
Ah, that's what I wanted to talk to you about, actually. I see that you've made use of the gift I've given you.
Big eyes. You?
And she kind of gives you a sad face and says, I'm sorry, Stacy. I don't know where your mother is. You realize now that this is not your mother, but this is in fact the ancient silver dragon Nashtu who gave you your powers.
Okay, so it's almost like you can hear the clattering of this image Stacy had and the sudden realization, and it's like, so her face turns sad for a brief second, like really, really sad, because she was quite happy to actually see her mother again. But she tries to get back her composure. She tries to make a brave face and says, "Oh, I see. I understand. No, I'm not really understanding, but it's okay."
Well, I think you possess a completely different kind of wisdom, don't you? You know what it's like to breathe ice. Not something a lot of mortals can be proud of saying. I didn't want to leave you completely in the dark. I realized that after you left the circle, I didn't really have a lot of time to explain things to you. Of course, there was also the matter with your friend Flora, who demanded her own kind of attention, and, well, I searched your mind for the face you would find most comforting in this moment. And since you're going through a very strange, confusing time in your life, I figured I might as well give you some guidance. Besides, I find myself with a bit of free time on my hands. And she does a very confused face at this, kind of not believing her own words.
Free time? Why you have free time? Oh, and how's Frederico?
She looks sad now.
Oh, no.
He's doing extremely well. He's well on the road to recovery. Just last morning I heard him croaking again, as if he was his old self. Grandmistress Rana did not make it. She died in her sleep the night you left. Sister Siobhan has taken over the circle.
Stacy is in shock. But why? What happened?
Well, Mother Rana was very old, you see. Halflings do not get that old. Not as old as we do, anyway. And when Siobhan took over, she told me, you know, Nashtu, I think it's time that you have a vacation for yourself. I'll handle it, she said. Mortals always tell that they'll handle it, but I don't know. Anyway, there's not much denying the mother of the Druid Circle, so even as a dragon, I must obey her. And besides, I think it will do me some good.
Okay.
For what it's worth, your quest was successful. And she smiled at you.
At least that's good. So the scales, will they prevail?
Oh no, not at all. Give me a hand for a moment, will you?
Stacy gives her hand to Nashu.
At this point, the cold actually feels kind of comfortable. And let me just find it in my notes. One moment. There you go. Please add to your features, first of all, Shapeshifter.
Ooh.
And the description says you can turn between an ordinary half-elf form and a draconic form at will. And also you get another feature called... One moment.
Stacy's turning into a dragon. Ah.
Yay!
Let's go.
Did I? Yep. One words. You can now add your wisdom modifier to persuasion checks. That is on top of your other modifiers.
Yeah, which is just a +0.
So yeah, now you can add a +3,
Nice.
was it? A +3?
No,
A +5?
wisdom is now +5.
Yeah, you
because
have a
of the
+5 on
circlet.
persuasion checks.
Yep.
You can immediately see that the scales disappear and you are back to your normal self. Of course, you know now that if you want, you can just turn back. And she looks at you and says, "It's as easy as that. Just imagine you look another way." I do it all the time, as you can see.
I see. Maybe I will practice it from time to time.
I think that's a great idea. Now, I'm sure you have some questions as to why this is happening to you.
You mean why you were even able to give me the gift of breathing eyes in the first place?
Oh, that's easy. For me, that was easy. I'm sorry to say that the hardest part is now for you to deal with. See, as dragons, we may be living things, but we are not, say, creatures. We do not procreate the classic way. Instead, we bestow our essence upon other creatures, who then take our place when our time comes. I've been many different people over my lifetime. Much like you, actually, I used to be an elven adventurer before I became a dragon. And I'm hoping that by placing this little bit of trust in you, that maybe you can grow into something great yourself.
Great. This sounds good to me. Maybe it can help my family.
Yes. You will find that, along with my powers, you will also regain some of my memories. You might have noticed involuntary reactions you've had. Maybe the air inside your mouth has gotten cold when you saw certain things.
Realization comes to Stacy's face, and she's like, yes. So she tries to memorize the flan again and sees if she can summon the icy breath. Flan, she's whispering.
I'm afraid it doesn't work that way.
Aw, shut.
I've found that the ice breath only comes out involuntarily when I'm thinking about something I'd rather not be thinking about. So you might want to think about, I don't know, snakes, pimples, the end of the world. She suddenly looks very serious. Oh my, I'm sorry. I hope this explains things a bit, but if you ever need guidance, all you need to do is think about me. I'll find you.
Okay, Nashu. I try to remember. You know, sometimes it's a bit difficult to remember things.
I'm sure you'll do fine. Now, in the meantime, I have reason to celebrate because this is the first vacation I've got in over 100 years. So whatever you want to eat, I will order it for you. Gosh knows, gods know I have an appetite.
Didn't say pay, it says order.
She's a silver dragon, she has like a horde.
Stacy would not notice the difference, of course, and she's like, you know what I haven't had in a while? It's not flan, haha. It's asado.
And so we shall have.
So asado is just a steak for everyone.
There's steak for everyone.
Steak for everyone.
for Nashu. And we turn our attention now from because I don't have a map drawn for that. We'll just go back to the regular map. We'll go back to Flora. So Flora, you come
jail.
out of
In prison.
no, you're in the royal palace. Clearly leaves you. They explain to you that the prince is already waiting for you. They point at a trapdoor ahead above you. You climb up to the trapdoor. You find that it's kind of blocked by a carpet on top of it, but you make short work of it and you just kind of come out of it. And you find yourself in the most luscious chambers you've ever been inside of, even more luscious than the Archmage's.
Even more luscious than like some of the places I've been in, like the Winter Court.
Luscious in a different way. You know, mortals are probably a bit more wasteful, so there's even more like kitsch up here. You also find a creature looking at you.
Do I know the type of creature?
Oh yeah, let me just pull up the asset. Hang on. There you go. It's a small bird-like thing. It's looking at you with small bird-like eyes. It's got like a reptile-like mouth, and it barks at you. Goes bark. You realize this is a skitter, which is a very common type of raptor around these parts. And apparently the prince is keeping one as his pet.
I mean, I could talk to it. You do how to speak with animals.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I'll have to use a spell slot. It's once per long rest. So, I cast Speak with Animals.
What do you say to the creature?
There.
You say sorry.
No, I say, hi there.
Hang on, I need to check something. Come on, what is it? Ah. Greetings, citizen. I can't help but notice that you made your way inside these private chambers which are off limits to the citizenry. I must ask you to please leave.
Yeah, except, I believe the prince wanted to speak with me.
I believe if you do not have an official invitation, I'm going to have to punish you. And he bites your ankle. It doesn't hurt at all. Consider yourself punished, criminal.
Is Prince Philo here?
I'm afraid His Grace is currently in session with the commander of the guard. It does not sound pretty. Indeed, you hear two voices talking to each other. One light and jovial and royal. You know that's to be the prince's voice. And one deep, slightly threatening, and very serious.
Can I try to pick up the skitter by like the scruff of the neck?
You don't need to. He immediately hops on your shoulder. Like hop. Like so.
Really?
Yes, forward. Be quiet now before you intrude upon the conversation.
I guess we're
You step up to where the voices are coming from. You see that you are actually inside the lounge. There's like a big window looking out over the city and the landscape. There's like a couch. And behind the door, you imagine that's where the study is, and you indeed hear two voices talking to each other. Says the deep voice, if you want to listen in.
Yeah, can I make out the voices?
You can make them out pretty easily. And it seems like they haven't made out you yet. They seem to be very deep into the conversation. Says the deep voice. Your Grace, I must once again warn you to choose your company more wisely. Two of the charges you've chosen are wanted criminals. One of them I've been looking for many years, and even you admit that you haven't seen her in a while. And then the other one, who, for what it seems, has has murdered local nobility. Now, I was no friend of Duke Fawaran, but murder is murder, my prince. There will have to be a trial, and you will have to be responsible. Or you'll have to show responsibility. Says the prince. I know what responsibility means, Firefall. Don't worry, there's no trial that can happen in this city. I can veto it for as long as I want. Besides, even if it comes to court, I will defend her myself. That is how much faith I place in her. Says the guard. I must once again urge you to reconsider. I will do my best. I will do my best to apprehend this criminal and make sure she sees justice, as well as your other associate. When you said in your speech you wanted to change the city for the better, I imagine you would... There's a very pregnant pause. You would be a radical force in this city. I do not imagine you allying yourself with criminals. We'll have yet to see if she's a criminal, Commander. Besides, the crown always has the last word in this city. Another pause, and then the deep voice says, the king has the last word in this city, my prince. And then he turns to leave. You hear a door slamming, and the skidder jumps off your shoulder and scratches at the door. Then you hear steps, and Philo looks at you. Let me just... He looks at you and says, if it isn't my completely reliable and not at all criminal friend Flora. How do you do?
Well, maybe next time you want to talk to me, you can, let your skidder know, because they can't bit my ankle. Not very nice.
You'll have to excuse Count Bitey. He is a bit, well, bitey. Why would I let him in on state secrets, huh? He's just a little guy. And he squishes Count Bitey on his chin, and Count Bitey says, "Indeed I am. Mischief is my middle name." And he skitters away, as skitters are wont to do. Flora, I'm relieved to see you here, despite everything. I assume you've heard the news.
Yes, you finally announced what I already knew. And people think I killed a man that I did not kill.
Flora, be honest with me. Are you a murderer? He looks at you very sincerely.
I've killed foes, but usually my foes are the more monstery type. So,
You did not answer my question. Did you murder this man?
I don't think I did.
Oh, bugger. Well, that sure inspires confidence. Please, have a seat. And he points at the couch.
Because I don't know who the murder victim is. No one told me who it was.
Give me that. You know exactly who it is. Duke Fawaran, he's dead. Found dead in his own home. The man who was in charge of you. He was stabbed and burned to death. Half the manor is gone now. It's a flaming disaster.
I did not kill him.
Then why were you the last person seen entering his house and the last person seen leaving it?
Okay.
No one else was in there before he died. All they found was his corpse.
There was one other person there.
And as you sit down on the couch and he gives you a tray of treats, he's trying very hard to be a gentleman and a good host, all the while looking extremely disheveled and tired. You can see there's several cups of what you assume to be something caffeinated on his desk, which have since been emptied. And he puts his hand on his hips and says, "Well, do you have any evidence for that?"
I mean, his knife was still in the body when I left it. The other person that was there.
You cannot tell me who it is?
He went by the name of Goodman.
Good man, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. The solicitor of the late Duke, who's called for your prosecution, that appears to be his nickname. Well, his actual name is Lord Rothlit. I don't know what his first name is. By all appearances, this might be your man. But I'm not quite sure why why the man's lawyer would murder him and then frame it on you. You seem to have no connection whatsoever. This is all very confusing.
You wanted to make a point.
He looks at you confused and he says, anyway, I'm glad to hear that your mission down in this Sithilad was a success. From what I've heard, you've defeated this squish quite handily. And the matriarch even attended my speech. From what I've been told, she doesn't actually attend anything that is outside of the Undercity. And for the first time, she's actually responded to my correspondence. That's how I arranged for her to have you brought here. It's just tragic that it had to be tainted by such tragedy. Duke of Hawaran wasn't a popular person by any means, but he was well known. It's even more sad because apparently his child ran away a few years ago and and apparently they left on very bad terms. Very well. You understand that I cannot have you roaming the city alone, yes?
But, I did try to help him when, Goodman did try to, throw a knife in him. I tried to stabilize him, but it seems like my efforts weren't good enough.
You didn't set fire to him as well, did you?
No. He did tell me that, because of some deals he made, he might combust.
Combust? Oh, this is a lot to take in, Flora. Not only are you not the murderer, you are accusing his main solicitor of being the murderer. Not only that, you're accusing the victim himself to be a devil worshipper? If I understand this right.
Not necessarily a devil worshipper, he just made a deal. That's not necessarily a devil thing.
Right, forgive my ignorance, but the point I was making is the guards will try to arrest you, and the only reason they haven't yet is my own intervention. Thus, I will continue to intervene until this trial is complete and your innocence is proven. I'm sorry to impose on you on this, but I don't think you have any other options. I must ask you to stay with our friend Roberto for the time being. His wife has agreed to let you stay at their house, and while you are in his presence, you're under my protection. He will soon come here and escort you to wherever you need to go. I assume you've also already heard that by the end of tonight, I'm going to need you to come back here, so we can discuss our further plans, including your future in particular.
So it doesn't make sense why everyone thinks I would do it. Why would I kill the person who, was, what's the word for that, like, the one who's, like, providing for you, like, your Patreon, I think.
Your host.
Yeah, my host. Why would I kill my host? It's not very good gas manners.
That's a question for the solicitors, I think. For the time being, it's best if you stay put. If you want, we can go to the library, but I need you to wait here for Roberto until we discuss our next steps. So, unless there's anything urgent you would like to say for the time being, you're for now in the presence of the prince. You're in his own royal chambers, just kind of sitting pretty. In the meantime, we will just return. We will turn to Xiomara. Is there anything else urgent you'd like to say, Flora?
No, except can we take a short break?
Again? Yes, we can.
Yes, please.
Go. It's piss time.
It's pissed
Yay.
Anyway.
I will post it in the chat.
Ja, wir sind wer? Wir sind wiedergekehrt.
Wir sind wiedergekehrt.
Wir sind zurück.
Das hat sich so.
Okay, I'm going to have to
Angehört.
ask all of the degeneracy in chat to stop right now.
Wow. Okay.
As we're turning to our favorite degenerate, Calix.
Yay! So
Well,
yeah, I
there
had
you
to-
are.
Damn.
You can already smell the faint smell of books and old parchment, as
And
and some more heartier smells. As you can see, as you come into the university grounds, it's a beautiful garden, and there's somebody lying on the grass, smoking a fat joint.
Nice.
Nice, very nice.
Um,
True
This is-
college experience.
It's a bugbear you've seen before. You think he goes by the name Splimby? Was it Imby? It was Imp. He goes by Imp. That's it. And you see Imp, and he waves you over, and he says, "Hey, Seo, what the fuck? You forgot forever, dude."
Yeah. I'm very uncomfortable talking to him because
Oh,
that is
dude. Oh,
not
fuck,
my
man,
scene at all.
I'm so sorry about your dad, man. So sorry.
What do you mean? What happened to my father?
The fuck do you mean, man? He's fucking dead. It's all over the fucking news. Some perverted,
No.
some perverted piece of shit. Some perverted piece of shit came into his cell and stabbed him and set him on fire. It was fucking rad. Oh, sorry.
What the fuck?
Wait, did Flora kill? Flora kill your father? What?
Okay, so they are trying so hard to not have like a breakdown right now because that is not good at all. So they're just staring at him like, mm-hmm. And do you know how the person looked like who killed my father? Just for personal information, might
That's the
help me
thing,
later.
though. They're still looking for her. They're looking for her.
Oh, it's a woman.
Yeah, was this
Drama
weird newcomer
unfolds.
to town? She looked like a ranger type character, like real. I live in the woods. I eat rat shit for breakfast or something. I don't know. He grunts. He smokes. He says,
Very funny.
yeah, basically, yeah. Apparently, he was hosting her for something. Like, I don't know, like he was having an affair or something. I don't know. Anyway, all this night, you know, the whole fucking apocalypse happens. There's a
Yeah.
tear in the planes get being torn up right in the harbor. Apparently, she gets lost in it. Like, she disappears for a while, and then the night after, she just comes back and fucking murders him in his sleep. Fucking rude.
Uh-huh.
I guess that fucking teaches you to be a host in these trying times, right? Can't trust
Yeah, but
anybody,
don't-
especially not outsiders.
Yeah,
Stupid,
don't
man.
trust anyone.
You know, my family is actually descended from immigrants. They make a
Oh,
bad
really?
fucking name for all of us, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
Anyway,
you know,
sorry about your dad.
times are hard.
Where were you
shit's
gone
not-
anyway? You were gone for some time.
You know, I think that I just left, needed a change of scenery, had my own plans going on, and then, you know, the fucking apocalypse happened.
Then why didn't you apply for a fucking sabbatical, dude, like normal people do?
Yeah, but it's like boring, you know. You need your own experiences, I think. Like, don't
He
use
takes
this one
a
to be-
deep breath from his joint and he says, "You raise a really good point, and also I'm really fucking stoned."
Yeah, I know, dude.
Do you want any of this?
No.
Good.
No.
Not to myself. He takes out a ridiculously big cookie and starts chomping on it.
But you know, you have fun. I'm actually here to see, you know, a mentor. Well, my former mentor. It's very weird. I'm a little bit confused right now, but you have a good time. Don't tell anyone I was here, or I swear to God, I will find you and I will fuck you up.
Oh,
Okay.
sounds hot, dude. Yeah. Cheers. Good luck.
No.
See you
Bad
around.
bitch vibes. Stacy will fall for that.
Okay, you carry on. Where specifically are you going in the university? You know, yeah, there's like different faculties for the different schools of magic. I'm assuming you want to go straight to alchemy, which is where
Yeah.
Vico would usually be teaching around this time of day. And you go there, and who would you catch but your old mentor, Professor Yendero. He's like an elderly red tiefling, and he says, Jamara, good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Care to explain at all where you have been in the past few days?
No, actually, not really. There's a lot going on. You need to excuse me. I just heard that my father apparently died, got murdered. Sorry.
Yes,
You
very
can
curious. Right at the
imagine.
time that you, who famously had a very antipathetic relationship with your father, disappears and then he dies, and now you've heard it the first time about it. I don't
Well,
care. He puts up his hands
I-
like he really doesn't care. I'm sorry, but if you've come to talk to the Archmage, I must inform you that they've left.
They've left.
Yes, apparently they've had an emergency came up and they immediately needed to leave for something. They've left the Vice Archmage in charge for now.
How convenient. Well, I do not need anything from the Vice Archmage here. No. Okay. Well, it seems rather useless that I came here then. Besides, obviously, finding out that he died. But okay.
I'm terribly sorry, but I heard that the solicitor of your late father has actually called for his family to meet him.
Oh.
Apparently, there's something about inheritance that needs some elucidation.
Oh. I might go there then. At least one good thing came out of this then. Like.
Certainly. Let me try to remember what it was. Oh yes. Apparently it is a tavern with some adult entertainment. It's just down the road, down in down Las Arcadas. It's a tavern called the Long Way. You can't miss it. And I hope to see you next Monday in class. Yeah, I'll write down the address for you. And
Thank
give you a
you.
little note.
Well, I do not know if I will come back so soon. You know, have a little bit of a mourning period. But maybe, who knows? But if you see, apologize, the Archmage again, can you tell them that I desperately need to talk to them? It's about a personal matter, actually.
Oh, everything's always personal with the Archmage, isn't it? Of course I will.
Thank you very much.
Don't ever have to worry about that.
Thank you.
I understand you're going through a difficult time right now, but if you ever want to grace us with your presence again, I would be honored to have you as my student. Again.
Thank you.
And he waves, and he
it.
waves, he curtly nods, and he goes, and he just leaves, because he really needs to be in his class right now.
Goodbye. Okay, I guess I will go to the tavern for adult entertainment.
Fair enough. Takes about an hour. You take like the next air gondola you can find, and you float on down to Las Arcadas. Find the right road, and it's not that far away from your old home actually. And it's like a 3-story building. It looks very fancy considering it's basically a brothel. And you step inside. Hang on. Yeah. Xiomara makes their way to the Long Way, already hearing inappropriate sounds coming out of it. They ask the owner, a golden dragonborn by the name of Lumia. Wait. Yeah. So you come in. You hear some inappropriate sounds inside, like wah wah. Whatever. Just imagine it yourself. And at the bar is a beautiful golden dragonborn woman who looks at you and nods and says, "Can I help you?"
I nod back. I'm like, yes, Hello, it's a great day we are having, isn't it? I've been told that I should come here to find a solicitor.
Oh, fuck. Are you one of Goodman's friends?
Yeah, I am indeed.
Ah, fine, sure. Come with me.
And she puts down the rag and the tankard she was holding in a moment, and she leads you up some stairs, and at the top floor, in the room with the window heading the street, here's two people having an argument, and then a person storms by you. It's a very tall drow lady with a wide-brimmed hat and pitch-black eyes, and she scowls at you for a moment before continuing downwards, and says the golden dragonborn,
Goodman? Oh, that sounds bad. Someone else is here to see you. What was your name?
My name is Siomara, thank you.
You hear a voice that you imagine a wolf would speak with. Something that akin to the breaking of a glacier, say, "Ah, yes, please, come inside. Been waiting for you." And you step inside, and let me just get the portrait. Beep, beep, beep. Oh no, where is it? Ah, there you are. You see a very effeminate-looking elven man. He's very pale. He's dressed completely monochrome. He has completely jet black hair with a single white strain over his eyes. He's dressed very fancy, and for some reason, even though it is indoors, he's wearing round black spectacles on his eyes. And he gets up, puts away some paperwork, and shakes your hand. Oh, goes to shake your hand.
Well, I shake his hand. We're being very polite right now, even though I believe wearing sunglasses inside is only reserved for blind people or for assholes, but I will leave that uncommented.
I'm so sorry. I'm gonna need you to make a wisdom saving throw. At advantage. I'm so sorry I have to do this to you, but you have to do it.
Yeah, wait, give me a second. It's wisdom, wait. Yeah, that's not that bad. Number 1 and number 2. Oh, they're the exact same.
How the fuck did you do that?
Well, it's gambler's luck or something.
You notice all the strange things about him. Like, why is he wearing sunglasses? Is he just rude? Is he like an asshole? Anyway, you shake his hand.
Probably, but it's
Betraying nothing of your thoughts. And he says, I'm terribly sorry, Lord Farwaring. Your father, it appears, has died.
I've heard.
Wow.
And, thank you. So, I believe we should just go to business straight. Please, I don't have that much time.
Don't you? I'm terribly sorry. I've never actually got to meet Javier's daughter. Child.
Yeah.
He and I were good friends ever since he was very young. His
Really?
passing
That
will
is...
take us quite by surprise.
He never talked about you. Like, at all. So I wouldn't know, actually.
See, it was a bit of a sordid affair. I'm sure he would have told you once you were older. I understand you ran away from home at an early age.
Well, when I was 16, I believe that's old enough to talk about friends now, is it?
I don't know if it's enough to talk about tax evasion and bastard children. That was the matter in which I assisted your father. Don't worry, they weren't his children. He was just caught up in a trial.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally believe that for him. Yeah.
So I'm assuming you're here about the inheritance.
Yes, exactly.
He points at a crate across the room. I'm assuming you've already sat down. You see, it's a very nice room. There's also a bed right next to you in the room, with some very messed up sheets. The crate, meanwhile, is very big. Looks very secure, and it has the sigil of the city guard on it. It says that's all the guard was able to retrieve from his home. Some keepsakes, some memories. About the money, and he steeples his hands. I'm afraid there's some complications.
Oh.
I'm not sure your
Please.
father told you this, but he used to be a duke up north in the northern duchies until he was exiled by his father, your grandfather. And still, he left with quite great a pension. Unfortunately, only a fraction of that pension is left now.
I didn't expect anything less.
It's only 500,000 gold pieces, I'm afraid.
Well, that's enough for the start.
But
Unfortunately, you will not have
Small
access to
loan.
them as of now. The testament stipulates that you must visit his interred body back in his home, back in Moon Lake City, where where his body is currently being transported to.
Well, he was always way more work than he was ever worth it, I believe. But sure. Why
Please
not?
tell me about it. I haven't had the pleasure in his latter years. What was your father like when you knew him?
Do you really want my opinion? Because I can
Please,
tell
I'm all
you.
ears. And he sits back and he smiles wildly at you.
You know, I don't know you. I just heard that my father was murdered. As far as I know, you could have done it. So why should I tell you anything about my relationship with my dad?
Well, it might prove in court that his loss was a great loss to the community, or maybe it wasn't. It might prove that there was reason for him to be murdered, and that the one who murdered him might still come to justice. For that is why I am here.
Well, who do you think has murdered him?
Well, obviously it was the woman. It was the woman he was hosting, that Flora woman. A stranger to the city, a ranger. No one knows where she came from, but apparently he had business with her, and she stayed at his house, and then she up and murdered him.
Very curious. Any motive that I should be aware of? I mean, why would someone just murder someone? That is my question.
From what I've been told, Flora nearly drowned in the flood that I'm sure you're aware, has overtook the city last week.
Yes.
Apparently she suspected that he was responsible for it. Otherwise, who knows? She's a complete and utter wild card. Strangely, the city, no one really knows her motives. She barely talked to anyone before sheltering at this man's place. There's no reason she couldn't have done it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, we need to stay open for all possibilities, I believe. Also, and I'm pointing at the bed while I say this, are you sleeping here? I would have thought you would have a little bit more of a, well, more well-respected establishment.
Oh, quite frankly, I believe this is a perfectly good establishment. See, I was just traveling through what I heard about it, and I had to act fast. There was no time to make space at a proper tavern. Thus, since I have a stake in the business, I just asked the business owner if she could spare me a room for a few nights.
Mm-hmm. And I suppose one must keep the pleasures of the flesh close to one's heart, yes.
He smirks, and he smirks the widest smirk you've ever seen anyone smirk, and he says,
The smirkiest
Well,
smirk to ever smirk.
we're just animals now. But actually, you'd be mistaken. I have a stake in this business because quite early in its runtime I invested in it. I'm only sleeping here because I could sleep here for cheap.
Well, good for you. So I must visit the dead body of my father, and the rest is in the chest.
Please,
Can
you're
I
free.
keep
You're
that?
free to.
Can I look through it?
You're free to take and keep anything in the crate, though. I think you might want to get some help. I can have a transport to anywhere in the city if you like.
This is the player talking to the DM right now.
Yeah.
Where have I been sleeping while I was not at the university?
You were sleeping in a tavern nearby, also in Las Arcadas. Though, basically at the other end of the city from where you are now, where your father used to live.
Okay, and is the tavern still standing? Because I did get hit by a wooden beam and got knocked out.
But you get up again.
They'll never
True.
get
No.
you down.
The only
I don't
leads you have
know.
right now is that you're supposed to meet the prince in the royal palace, and also that, for what you know, you have not been matriculated from the university.
Yet.
Okay,
Those are
not
the two
yet.
options.
Okay. Now as the character again. Actually, would you be so kind and send the chest to the university dormitories? I think there's still a room left of me, and it's a good place to store anything that I don't yet want to get to.
Absolutely. Anything I might do to help an old friend's child. Well, if you ever need any help in anything whatsoever, I'd be happy to help you.
Yeah, I think we should stay in touch regarding the murder case. There might
Absolutely.
be some leads I can dig up on because
Oh yes,
You
please,
know.
absolutely. I'd love to have your assistance in this.
Of course.
Of course, while we're here, if there's any kind of refreshments I can get you, drink, food, I'd be happy to oblige you.
Could I
All on my tab, of course.
Do you have some very strong alcohol right now?
Yes, of course. And he rings the bell, and another dragonborn maid comes in and says, yes, Mr. Goodman? Your strongest liquor, please. Of course, Mr. Goodman. And you sit down to him, and she brings in a carafe of something that looks truly vile. And you're free to drink it with him, or by yourself, or just take it with you, or whatever.
No, I'm drinking it right now, baby.
I'm assuming you're sitting down on the...
Yeah, I'm sitting down on some chair that's probably in there. I will not sit on this bed. That's no.
Sounds like a constitution savings throw.
I mean,
I'm
yeah.
having such a time right now. Wait, Constitution. Yeah, of course I will give that to you.
You are thoroughly
Nice.
drunk, my friend.
Yeah, let's go.
So, it is now noon. You immediately get shit-faced in the presence of this all-to-you-know stranger who was a friend of your father's. You weren't very fond of your father, so you imagine anyone who was a friend to him probably isn't worth hanging around, and yet, there you are.
Yeah, I just got the worst news of my life. I think I can have a period of grace where I can just go absolutely fucking ham.
In solidarity, while you just kind of get drunk, he also takes a small sip from the carafe and says, he raises to you and says, to the late Duke, he will be missed.
He sure will.
He certainly will, you say. And yes, please, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Another one.
A wisdom saving throw, yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry. Don't.
Ah, that's funny. You fall asleep. Well then, so
No.
that being said, there we are. So, the rest of the party, you are free to visit any of these 3 locations I've marked on the map. If you want to go to visit a blacksmith, an enchanter, or an alchemist, you can also go to any of the other locations I've marked here on the map. You can also just go immediately to the Royal Palace and skip forward to the quest event that is coming now.
Don't have that much money though. I only have 215 gold, not like 500,000.
If only you had Flora with you, she could make some bargains with you, but no, she got arrested.
Yeah, shouldn't
That's
have
a
killed
good-
people.
You did not get arrested. The whole point of you going to the palace immediately is not getting arrested. That being said, you are free to bargain on yourself, by yourself. And if that's the case, then I suggest you go to Prince Philo immediately, and he probably has some rewards for you.
But I wanted to check if I could buy a potion first.
Sure enough.
I follow Seti to
And
Yesius.
some flan for Stacy.
No, I just follow you
brown.
because she kinda grows on you.
Where is
No,
Stacy growing?
he grew on you. Right then, sure enough, you turn around some familiar corners and you come across... one moment. What's a... You come across Dr. Yes's workshop.
Aha.
They work out of a small workshop on the corner of two canals and Snake's Nest. Though small, it is well decorated and well stocked. The party, that is you three, can see a small signed parchment hung on the wall behind the counter. If you look very close, you can see this actually uses a promotion certificate signed by former Archmage Anna Guterres. The party also notices someone working busily in Yes's lab behind a curtain. So you come into this little abode. It's like well decorated, it's well stocked with potions. You can see Yes's smile at you as you come in. You can hear somebody working busily behind a curtain to his right. And he says, yes. I was wondering when you'd come back to me. How can I help you, friends?
Oh, I wanted to knock the curtain, but yeah, that's not how knocking works.
I'm assuming you're pointing at the curtain.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Do you have some potions that might be helpful to make myself take a punch better?
I have a few. So, DM's note. You may purchase any type of common, rare, or very rare potion from Yes's stock, as well as 4 special items I've prepared that you can see in the side chat right now. That is the Discord side chat. We have a potion of remembering, potion of demonic speed, a potion of reflectance, a Lolth's hug, and Mershaw's questionable gift.
Oof.
If there's anything that you would like, I can also make some custom concoctions, and I'm sure we can agree on a price. And just this once, I'm sure I can give you a discount. If you introduce me to your new friend, and he points at Azizi. Azizi, you've actually seen Dr. Yeezus around. He's a bit of a hero down in the Undercity because he's one of the only, fully fledged doctors with a degree. He's helped Desert once when he sprained his ankle, but he meets a lot of people every day, so you don't think he would remember you.
Makes sense.
So.
Stacy, did you forget who your parents were, or did you just don't know where they are? Sorry, I need to open the door.
What do you know with forgetting where my parents
that's
are?
a bit out of character, but
Okay. It's out of character, then I won't answer. It's the mysterious backstory.
It is.
Classified information.
sorry, the dog was being a bit much.
Okay, Azizi, do you introduce yourself to Dr.
Yeah. Gotta do it at least once. You can't always just be like, that's not a dog! There's no dog in this one. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway.
Oh, you can be like, what's behind the curtain?
Is that maybe a poodle? That might not be a poodle. No. Especially because he knows this guy and is aware of the accolades that he possesses and all. He's like, yes, nice to meet you. I am aware of you. I'm Azizi. Nice to make your acquaintance officially now.
And he nods and smiles at you. Very nice to see you too. DM's note, for those who have not met Yesez yet, he is a Yuan-Ti half-blood, meaning he looks like a snake, but he has 2 legs and 2 arms. In his case, he looks like a pit viper. Hang on, let me just see if I can find a certain. Yep, okay. So, anything you would like to purchase? Or barter for? Anything custom you'd like to ask for?
Yes, Stacy puts down her backpack and pulls out the cloak of Nis and turns to Yes. Do you know something about this cloak? I found it down in the ruins of, I think it was called Nis?
That would make sense if you found a cloak of Nis in a place called Nis. I'm afraid I'm not that proficient at identifying things. You might want to bring it to a magic item shop, an enchanter or something. If you want, I can take it off your hands in exchange for some potions.
No, I first must know what it is.
Very well.
But
Then I
thank
suggest
you,
my friend Cremitius, who works out of Infinito, you might get something out of him if you show it to him. You might even do it for free. He's a very friendly cat. That one.
A cat, you said?
Oh yes, quite so. He's a tabaxi.
Oh,
He's been working out of Infinito for ages. Not quite sure where you came from.
Letty, will you go with me there? I feel safer with you around.
Yeah, let's go.
DM's note, you can visit one more thing before you have to return to the palace. Okay, so you want to go straight to the enchanter shop and not buy anything?
Yeah, because I'm interested in the potion of remembrance, but I don't have the money yet.
How much is it for the potion?
250 gold. I think it's not gonna be.
I say with a discount he's giving you, you can get it for 125, and if you want to barter or trade something for it, you can go even lower. However, you have a magic item in your inventory called the Hand Drops of Major Urgency, which I don't think you need anymore.
But I do it sometimes. I do unarmed melee attacks.
Yeah, but also I gave you the bangle, which is much better.
Alright, the bangle. I forgot about the bangle.
Although you might get better chances fencing it off when you go to the enchanter.
But like he also can use both of them at the same time.
Yeah, but indeed, like I'm willing to trade in the hand wraps and then supply the extra gold that's needed.
Oh, the Potion of Remembering was one of my favorites with some elderly customers. Please, I will gladly take those hand wraps. They seem to have sentimental value. I will treasure this. Thank you. Please, here. And he hands you a small little vial of a fluid that reminds you a bit of smoky quartz.
Oh, nice.
You see, it's thick and swirly, and it looks like it wants to be drunk.
But now...
So that being said, is there anything else you'd like to do in the alchemist shop?
Nope.
Not for Stacy.
It's easy?
No, I don't think. Well, I mean, there's that funky potion for 1 gold.
Ah, yeah, the funky potion was also good.
You want to get Murshok's questionable gift?
I feel like I do. Yes, I would like to get Murshok's questionable gift. That's a steal. That's a steal right there.
Please, add 1 potion of Murshok's questionable gift to your inventory.
Yes, let's go.
Sometimes you just gotta slither your way out of a conversation that's a bit awkward.
That's so good, yeah.
I stat block for the Dire Serpent because I couldn't find it. I think this might be the way to go, honestly. It's a good stat block. Let me say it like this. It's a good stat block. So, I'm assuming you want to continue on to Infernito.
I would go there for sure. So Aziz is just following us.
Azizi needs to follow Siseti, and you're always following Siseti too.
Mm-hmm.
Or rather,
No,
society is
fan club.
accompanying you.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
time I'm
because I
following
asked.
Stacy.
Yeah, because I asked. I was nice. I was sweet.
You make your way out of the sewers. You finally smell some fresh sea air, which is immediately overtoned by the smell of cinder and charred meat. As you come into Little Hell in Fiornito, the outer city. Now you make your way down some alleys, some walkways on stilts, and you come to a very plain-looking store that has a sign on top that says Crimbley's Curiosities. Crimbley's Curious, rather. And you see that it's completely burnt out. So what it says, they found a once respectable antiquarian now completely burnt out. The once well-maintained store windows have melted away and been replaced with boards. However, business seems to be booming inside. The party finds the store already half restored with bookshelves and reliquaries, attended by a gaggle of chatty infernitans, harangons, bugbears, tieflings, dragonborn, as well as some other weirdos the party can't identify. The shop owner, you see, as Yissa said, is a fully grown tabaxi. He looks to have some burning scars and is wearing some bandages, but he's otherwise dressed very well. And he's talking to a familiar blue goblin, who you identified to be Morgard.
Mogurt!
Mogurt's still alive.
Indeed. And they're chatting away, apparently talking about the book that Mogurt is reading. You remember Mogurt is in fact blind. Hang on, let me just add them here. And you notice that there's actually some bumps instead of letters in the book pages. Talking about the book, and Mogurt says, "Why is it Crimbley? I don't know, this passage seems a little rote, if you know what I mean." Says Crimbley. "Oh yes, absolutely. I know exactly what you're saying. However, I think for a first-time author, it's not even that bad. I don't know, I think she should have tried a little bit harder. And anyway, these days you usually have an editor at your side too. And, well, hang on, is there a translation error? You wrote sock instead of sack, Crimbley. Well, listen, you don't just get to invent a language and then immediately get everything right? I suppose you don't. Hey, smells like corn." And they turn their head and see you, Stacy.
Stacy chuckles at that. Mogurt, glad to see you.
"How are you doing, darling?" And they scramble over, still quickly putting like a little bookmark in the book before they approach you.
Was it
I'm glad you're here,
blind?
but... come again?
Was it Mogurt blind?
Mogurt is blind, but they can hear you, so
No, but,
they immediately
but it
come
doesn't do him in the
towards
book.
you. Well, I just said it has bumps instead of lettering.
Oof. Okay, good.
It's Braille, but
Sadie
our
doesn't know
version
what
of
Braille
Braille.
is.
It is in fact Braille, yes.
Sadie
It's
doesn't know what
fantasy Braille.
Fantasy Braille. So there you are. And Morgurt says, but you didn't smell your funny-smelling friend. Flora was her name? Yeah, you didn't bring her. I was happy. I was excited for her to meet my friend. And they point at the taller tabaxi, who says, yes, you're the adventuring party that Morgurt told me about. How can I help you? Welcome to my humble shop.
I hope only good things were told.
Well, Seti, I know you. I know we've always been a bit slow, but you are always good of heart too. I'm assuming you finally come to do the associated thing, the thing usually associated with adventuring, and brought me some of your loot to identify. That might just be a good guess, though. And you,
yes.
I haven't seen you around here at all. And once again, he points at Azizi, and I'm trusting Azizi to just go for complete non sequitur.
Is there a cat somewhere who can that's not a cat?
He like stares for a moment in silence, thinking if he should say what just crossed his mind or not. I mean, it doesn't look like you would be seeing anybody at all. I don't mean this in like a bad way.
Oh no, that was the shopkeeper saying that he hasn't seen you around. There's also the goblin, who is blind.
Okay. I thought the goblins. Okay. That's my bad.
Didn't smell you around.
It didn't smell me around. Yeah. I haven't seen you. I haven't seen you either. Nice to meet you. I'm Miss Easy. I can fix things for you if you need.
And he sighs as he looks around. And you see, well, half of the store is still burnt out, and the other half is just barely holding together. I think this might be a bit beyond your purview, but I appreciate the offer. Now, can I offer you anything? Now, DM's note: you may purchase any magic item from the standard player's handbook or any other sources. I haven't gotten to add any of them, but if you know any of them off the top of your head, you're free to barter with Crimbly. Otherwise, I have some other items I've just posted in chat.
Okay. First of all, Stacy takes out the cloak and also says, I found this in the ruins of Nis, and I'm wondering what this can do. Or maybe not do. Whatever.
Ah, yeah, very well. In the Sithalard, you say? Oh, very good. I've met some adventuring parties who went down there. Some of them disappeared after a while. I'm glad you didn't. Oh dear. This is a cloak of protection. A very beautiful one too. See, it has, and he pointed some embroidery that's barely visible. It has some runes in Sylvan here, which I happen to be fluent in, and it says, "For the grace of winter and His Royal Majesty." I'm assuming this refers to the Winter King. Oh, very good, very good. This is a very good find. How much would you be willing to take for it?
Oh, I wanted to keep it.
Oh, keep it. Oh yes, of course. Well, the of course, it was my pleasure to identify this for you. You're free to keep it for yourself. Stacy, please add to your... What? What?
Since the Tabaxi is fluent in Sylvan and in the armor Stacy is wearing, there's also the Sylvan or the name Kithramith embroidered. So she wanted to ask if maybe the shop owner knows something about Kithramith.
Hang on. You show him the note, show him the name, and he says,
Yep.
"Oh, so you found this inside of an armor you received as a gift."
Yes.
Oh, it seems it just was dedicated to somebody named Kitharamus. It's a very rare name. It seems to be a bastardization of the drow name Kizaramu, which is interesting. I don't know. I haven't often seen fairies interacting with the drow, but there you go. It seems to be stitched quite lovingly too. Or rather, the miss at the end, it implies that somebody was very cherished.
Hold on. Why did you mention fairies?
Well, it's written in Sylvan. The language of the fairy.
Stacy contemplates about this a little bit. Okay, seems valid.
Oh, if I was trying to hide something, I would be quite terrible at it. I find myself quite incapable of lying, you see. It's a condition I've had ever since I was born.
You too.
Yes, indeed. Now about your friend, Flora, right?
Yes, what about her?
I would love to have a chat with her. From what I've heard from my friend Morgan, she seemed like an intellectual sort. I think we could have some wonderful discussions. Of course, any of you are always welcome in my shop. Inside of the opening times, of course, and he chuckles. Now,
I will
anything
tell
else?
it to her.
You're quite gracious, thank you. And he gives you a little bow. So, anything else you would like to do in the Enchanter's place? Note, all the prices I listed for the items I put in chat, they can definitely be haggled down, and you can definitely also barter for it.
No, I think there is nothing I'd like to buy as of right now.
Perfect. So, I put in Roll20 chat what you get out of the cloak. It's a NIST cloak of protection.
It's a very
I
good
have
cloak.
already written it down. Yep.
Perfect. And with that, would you like to return
To
to the Royal Palace?
Mhm.
Yeah, I have nothing else to do.
I'm just wondering, Stacy. Did you tell us already that you know? You told us that you know Sylvan, right?
Oh no. Okay. So you are asking now if I can speak Sylvan.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I can't speak Sylvan. It's just Flora told me what's written in there because I was wondering.
And Flora understood language of the fairies?
No. You know, she's quite intellectual. I'm pretty sure she just studied it.
Makes sense.
Oh, so did I.
I mean,
Crimley kind of busts in and says, Yes, I studied it while I was on my travels. It seemed like an interesting subject to get into. We know a lot about the modern fairy language, of course. Your mileage may vary on the different dialects that there are. Now, is there anything else I can help you with, friends?
You've been quite helpful, thank you.
Anytime. Bye, stinkers! And Mogert goes back to get another book. Well then.
Oh, Mogert.
Oh, Mogert. That's the last time you see them.
No, I love
don't worry.
them.
Don't worry.
I wouldn't be
So,
surprised if Mogert turned out to be
They're
big bad
the
evil.
next big victim to be
Nar.
stabbed
No
by
way.
Goodman.
Maybe. So. You make your way to the palace. You find, your old friend, now Captain Enzo is already waiting for you, if I can find his portrait.
Cap.
Oh, did I not upload it? Ah.
New portrait with the really pretty medal and the shiny.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for reminding me of my excellent work. Just need to locate him. But you find your old friend in his new shiny captain armor. He looks even more tired than before, if that was even possible. He says, "Oh, why, fancy meeting you here. What have you been up to? Besides slaying calamari, those."
Daisy chuckles at that. Food.
Yeah, I'm hungry too.
You know.
Who's the newbie? And once again, he points at Azizi. Azizi, you see this very tall human man with very new, fancy captain of the guard armor. He looks very very laid back for the circumstances. He's got a thick beard and even thicker eye bags.
Nice, relatable. Just a mechanic, just helping out. We stumbled into each other down in the sewers, really. Not a big deal, honestly. We did, however, release an ancient evil. Azizi does love telling everybody about that.
Give me a persuasion check.
wait, what am I persuading him on? But sure.
It says, persuasion check is just my check to see if the joke lands.
Oh no, it doesn't.
It does not! And, his face goes from smiling to slack for a moment. He says, "What? Oh, right." He bangs himself on the head and says, Of course, sir. Well, I'm sure that kind of humor is very common from where you're from. That explains why Seti is as funny as a board. Very well, let's go then. And he gestures you through. You go up the palace, up all the stairs, to chambers that are not usually reserved for the common folk. And you make yourself to a hallway, and at the end of it is a very large, lavish door. And you can hear somebody talking at the other end of it. Before you do, though, Xiomara,
Yes.
Please give me a charisma saving throw.
Yes. Wait. Oh no.
You fall in the dirt. Not quite the dirt. You just manage to hear the stagecoach taking off behind you. As you come to in the very well kept streets of the Royal Palace district.
What a bitch. He threw me out.
You find a note in your pocket.
I read it. I want to know what he has to say to this.
Okay. You find it written in a very familiar hand. It says, "Dear future me, in case you once again made the worst decision known to men and went on a drunken bender with a strange person you barely know, I've arranged for you to be transported to the Royal Palace just in case. Be sure to tip the stagecoach. Love you. Bye." And you see a bunch of, then you see like a kiss print and
Aw.
some stains.
I mean, I guess the stage code is already gone.
Yep.
I can't tip them, but it's so rude. Okay. Anyway, I pack away the note. I'm like, fuck again. This reminds me too much of like my student times. This is why I stopped being a student.
Besides that, you go pack it back into your pocket. You notice another like little envelope.
Oh. Hopefully this time not written by myself. I open it and I read it.
So just picture this tall elven person standing in the middle of the road in a very important district. There's guards rotating all around them. There's like courtiers and nobles and whatnot, and they're just standing there looking disheveled. The eyeliner is slightly smudged, and they're just drunkenly opening this envelope, and what you find is a photograph. Of course, it is not quite that advanced. It is still black and white because you realize now it hasn't been made recently. You see two people on it. They're embracing each other, and one of them is actually kissing the other. The first is a very handsome, very dapper-looking high elven man with brown skin, black hair, and ice white eyes. You realize that this is your father before he grew his dad beard. Hugging him is a beautiful tiefling woman who has apparently grey skin and pitch black eyes and long, beautiful light brown hair, which you infer kind of. It is still black and white, but you kind of infer from the tones that's supposed to be that. And you turn around and it says, hang on. To my hardest quest yet, I'll never forget you. Signed, F. You want to give me an insight check on what that is, or?
Yeah.
Please, give me an insight check on what the fuck this photograph is.
Look at this photograph.
Look at this graph.
And give you a nickel back for that.
Aww.
Amazing. All of you get negative inspiration.
No! Why?
That's a great
That was a
performance.
joke. That was a joke.
Okay.
17 insight. Congratulations. This is the first and only evidence you have of your mother.
Okay. I scoff slightly at the comment. Like, I mean, if
You
she was
realize this
dead,
note
happy.
is she signed this photograph and gave it to your father, and it must have come from the crate of keepsakes that your father left behind. So, you step up to the palace.
Before I do that, I will cast prestidigitation. Yes, on myself, because I need to look good. Even in like a half-drunken stupor, I still know that I need to look good.
Sorry. I zoned out for a second. You do that, you look nice and proper now, and you step up to the gates and realize now you have no idea how you're even gonna get to the prince. All you see is some guards standing around.
Oh, fuck. I walk up to the guards and I'm just like, it's like late afternoon, right?
It is afterglow time.
Okay, so like going into evening a little bit, I would
It is
guess.
past sundown. The sun is already over the
Okay.
horizon.
Okay, and I can say, good evening. I think I got sent here to talk to the prince. I was with an adventuring group. I don't know, like Flora, Stacy, very nice people were sent by the prince himself. And they are expecting me. If you do not believe me, just get someone that can like prove this, because I got left alone. I kind of went on out by myself. A horrible mistake now that I mention it. Quite frankly, not my best work, but I really need to see the prince, I suppose.
You can see a young elven woman in guard armor turns to you and says, yes, of course, my lord. What is your name?
Fuck. Do I give my fake name or my actual name?
Secret third option. I don't know what that
Make
would
up
be, but-
another name.
Yes.
No.
No.
They should know me as Sandy. If any of them have mentioned that.
She gives a confused look. And you hear a deep voice saying, hang on, actually I am expecting her. You can see a half-orc in very official-looking garments approaching you. He towers above you by an entire head. He has like slight green skin, brown hair. He looks very formal, very dapper, handsome, you might say. You can see one of his arms is actually in a sling. You can tell that he's like probably a very high-ranking guard, but he has been injured recently. And he looks you up and down and says, of course, my lord. We've been expecting you. Please come with me.
Of course, thank you, my kind sir, and I will follow him.
Give me a perception check.
I'm just following everyone. That's why I got robbed the first time around.
Nice. Good roll.
You notice as soon as the man approached, you can see the other guards looking extremely scared.
Slay, I love walking with the scariest person.
You also
You know,
notice that his glutes are seemingly made of iron. Those are the toughest glutes you've ever seen. You might say he's got a hard ass.
Daddy's got ass.
Sexy.
Please,
No,
give me a
I will
history
not.
check. Give me a history check.
Roll history
Of
on that
course.
ass.
Of course.
History the glutes.
History for ass.
Yes.
I'm like, when it's about ass, I'm
Critical
like,
ass.
Yeah.
You realize now that you've found yourself in the presence of none other than Commander of the Guard, Argyle Firefall, also known as the Hard Ass. Known for both being strict and having excellent glute muscles. Anyway, he walks you up through the palace, past the same path, much the same path that the party took, only at some point he takes an unexpected left turn, which you wouldn't know. And you end up in his office, and he bids you take a seat.
yeah, I look at him like, what is this about? But, I've already been led astray so much today. Might as well do this. And I sit down. And I
You
look
sit
at him,
down
so
at his
please.
desk. You can see it is very comfortable. You can see he's prepared a nice cup of tea, some apples. He sits down in front of you. You can see he is truly large and intimidating. And he turns to you and says, "Now, Lord Sandy. I'm sorry about the loss of your father.
Thank you.
That
you must
being
see him.
said, I would appreciate if you didn't lie to my guards.
Well, of course, I can see your point very well. The problem is just my companions do not know my actual name and also do not know who my father is. Well, was, I suppose. And you must see, I'm a little bit afraid because one of my companions is suspected of the murder of him. So I
I
believe.
know.
Yes, so you might see why I do not want to go blazing in there with my family name and put myself on the roster as well. I do not want to die.
I'm suspect neither wanted your father, neither did your father. Very
Yeah,
well.
well, we can't always choose that, but I can put myself out of danger.
Now, you wouldn't know this, but you've actually started spilling state secrets to mere guardsmen. The public doesn't exactly know that the prince has his own private party of adventurers working for him.
Neither did I, to be
Oh.
quite honest. I found them
I
in
suppose
the
it is-
sewers.
I suppose soon enough it is going to be a common enough knowledge. That being said, I didn't actually know it myself, for sure, until quite recently. And just today I talked to the prince about reconsidering his choice in companionship. Now, you seem to me like an upstanding citizen. I see you are a scholar. I would advise you to be on the lookout when you're around less than friendly contemporaries. Of course, I am talking about Flora.
Of course, I gathered. Do not worry. I will
Now-
try my best. But are you asking me to spy on her for
What?
well, the guard?
No, but as any good upstanding citizen, you would report something suspicious to the guards immediately, wouldn't you?
Of course, as you know, I am a very upstanding citizen.
He winks at you, yes, of course.
I will
Give me an
try
inside
my
check.
best. Does he know that I lie?
Will you ever tell the truth?
I get the feeling this man knows that, this man doesn't just know that you're lying. He knows everything about you. This is the command of the guard.
Can't have shit in this economy.
You lost your father, you lost your mother.
Lost my life, lost my lies, lost my deception.
He chuckles
Okay.
a bit and says, "Very well, Lord Sandy. I'll be able to escort you up to the prince now. If you'll
Thank
follow
you.
me, please."
I follow him wordlessly.
You come to the highest room, the highest chamber in the palace. You see there's a hallway with your party already standing in it, with another guardsman standing watch. The rest of the party, you actually see Xiomara approaching, with a very official-looking half-orc in tow, a huge man, and you can Roberto is audibly swallowing and mutters under his beard, "Oh, no. He does a very stiff salute. Says, "Commander." The commander in turn turns to Roberto and salutes and says, "Captain, I believe one of your sheep has gone missing. I believe you were raised on a farm, Captain. Am I correct in that?" "Yes, Commander. I suspect you improve your shepherding a bit." "Very well, then I'll leave you to it." And with that, he leaves. Now, on the other side of the door, Flora, you hear this commotion outside, and Philo is busily working on some papers. you've just had a conversation about how much sense it makes to accuse you of being the murderer. Where he conceded that it doesn't make a lot of sense, but he can't really do a lot. That being said, there are people at the
I'm
door.
not sure if I heard it all because I did go away a bit to take my second thing of migraine medication.
Yeah, that's fine. Doesn't really matter. You just heard some conversation outside. You hear the voice of the guard earlier. You also heard the familiar voice of Roberto.
Okay,
You open the door.
sure.
You step inside into the spacious office of the prince. He gets up from his desk and opens his arms and says, "Friends, welcome. It's good to see some new faces too. I'm overjoyed to hear that your mission in the sewers was successful, of course, while that was overshadowed by some more unfortunate news. But we have time to talk all of that right now. If you care for dinner, just say so. I will have anything ordered you want into my chambers. Please sit down." And so you do. Now, folks, you know what it smells like?
Rake?
No, it smells to me, first of all, like a level 4 party. And second of all, it smells to me like the end of the session for today.
Yeah, because I'm getting a bit
Ooh.
tired.
Nice. Let's go roleplay sesh.
It doesn't smell like flan though.
Does it smell
Yeah,
like fun?
sure.
Does it
I mean,
smell
you
like
can order anything you want to the chambers. That being said, it is now time for a very short Q&A session.
If there are any
If there are
queues
indeed
and/or
queues to
If
be
there are
aid.
queues, if there's queues. Oh, I think I just have something that I want to do next session, which is roll to know if I know, like, if I've ever interacted with the prince, but that's for next time, I think.
Ooh. I actually have notes about that. I don't have to improvise that. That's so fun. Now,
I have so much drama.
You do.
You should.
Yeah, you just kind of tend to get involved in it.
Yeah, just don't go out and murder people. I mean,
Yeah.
Didn't murder
like-
anyone.
well, you
I'm,
did
like,
murder someone.
Still,
I
I-
did
I-
not murder Javier.
That's true.
I really just love it that I added to the drama by making Stacy believe that Flora really has something to do with it.
Even though she was like, no, I didn't. And I
Listen,
can't lie.
Stacy overthinks.
I mean, all
She's a hermit.
murderers say no, I didn't murder.
Anyway, I
Yeah.
think when Calix pitched that character to me, that we talked about them having a father who's an NPC in the campaign. I was like, oh yeah, I have
Yeah.
an NPC.
yeah. I like since like an hour into the session, I just went to break down like the 5 stages of grief, but every half hour. Like, do you know how stressful this was for me?
I do. I received all the DMs. I know.
Like every time, just like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Amazing. I'm glad I'm glad my D&D can have this kind of effect on you.
Yeah, be
which means I did
glad
my job well.
I'm glad you didn't see my face. Like I was silently screaming for so long.
That's your
But I have one question. Wouldn't
Yeah?
Sandy not recognize the armor I am wearing?
Ooh.
No.
Okay, interesting.
The father didn't. The armor didn't originally belong to Javier when he gave it to you.
Ooh.
Oh.
Also, been gone from home for a pretty long time. So like I'm out, my character's out of the loop completely.
Yep. And drunk.
And
And very drunk.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so
Wasted.
willing to just be like, oh yeah, the outsider did it.
I mean, to be fair,
I
this
mean,
is
everyone
what
tells
happens.
me that you were like a guest of my father, and then he turns up dead. Like, that's incredibly suspicious. You must know how this looks.
I was a guest.
Yeah,
What kind of guest kills their host? That's
malicious
not nice.
guest. guests with malicious intent.
Malicious ladies.
I don't know you. I don't know what you've been up to. You have been suspicious of me the entire time, so now I can finally be suspicious of you for once.
Intrigue.
But
And
I
so-
already know Tia about you. We already know Tia about each other. We both know about Finger Eater.
At this time, I also want to
We-
congratulate Calix on not trusting Goodman at all.
Yeah, no, this dude is
That
sus
would've
as
been-
fuck,
Look at him.
but incredibly pretty. I will wife him up. This is gonna be my dude. Fuck my husband.
What another? Wow.
Another, yes.
This is a poly. I see.
Yeah,
Yes.
You're gonna marry the person who murdered your father.
maybe. I don't know.
Maybe with another character, if Xiomara dies or something.
I hope I don't die. That would be very sad.
Me too.
No.
I hope you don't die.
Yeah, I like
it's in your hands.
my little baby girl. They're very they have a lot in store still.
Aw.
Yeah, I think so too.
But
No, we will pick up. We'll pick up at another dinner party next session. So that's cool.
Dinner party.
We still have to decide which date, right?
Yeah, we still have to.
Yes.
decide.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm fine if we want to do it in December or even a little bit later, so that I have more time to prepare. Especially since technically I'm in university now, so that's cool.
Congratulations.
And I'm also
Oh,
working.
yeah,
now.
university life.
Academia.
Yeah. So thanks
Drink
everyone.
and smoke.
Hey. All right. Have a
Uh,
good night, everyone. Thanks everyone for being here tonight.
Bye bye.
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 Bye bye.
Bye.
Gute Nacht.